J Squad.
We gotta find now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find
Yo, what is going on, everybody? How y'all doing today? Another beautiful Friday, Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. I'm happy that I have another federal holiday off to take off. But welcome. We are ready for some fun. I had a few things I was going to put on to watch. I have some, backup things to go. And then I saw two things that I figured I wanted to cover that I wanted to take a look at. One is McDizzle made a video about SmashJT's purple bisexual light problem. And then the other one is it looks like Anthony has already responded to Remnant. So I wanted to see what his take was going back at Remnant for Remnant's video that they watched the other day. So should be fun. Should be fun. As always, I'll be playing, or as we have been doing, I'm going to be playing Astronauts in the background while we listen to them. But other than that, it's going to be pretty normal. It's been pretty quiet. I haven't been on the internet a lot today. I went out with some buddies and I played it's called Lord of the Rings Fate of the Fellowship. It's a board game made by the same guys who made Pandemic. And man, it was a lot of fun. It's just like you trying to get Frodo to the Shire, and you get to play all the different characters. You get to pick different characters to play as you go around the map, and you try and fight orcs, and you do missions to try and get it done. A lot of fun. I recommend it if you like cooperative board games, because everyone's working together in it. Let's get a moment here. I haven't played that much since the last time we played. I went to this little sucker and got some gear, got some stuff to sell. I got to fix this up. In fact, I'm going to see if I can repair this right now with what we got. I don't want to end up not being able to repair it and dragging this thing all the way back and them not taking it. So I haven't done much building. We'll probably be doing some more building today, especially if I can find the tiles that I'm looking for. And I think I'm going to expand this room right here a little bit. Need a cold host? Yeah, if you want to come on, man, come on. You always enjoy watching some SmashJT stuff. We know you do. Let's see here. So just jump in the waiting room as always. But my ship is coming along nicely. Was I able to? All right, let's see if he's able to do it. Boop. Yeah, I know. I got to fix that pressure problem. Make a bigger airlock so that the airlock can close. Can he repair it? Okay, good. He can. Good. We'll make a lot of money off of that. Because that's worth good money. That's good money, guys. Get that mortgage paid off. Get that mortgage paid off. So, anyway, if you haven't been on... Oh, here, let me get Scary in here real quick. Scary, what's up? Yo, what's going on? Happy Friday. What a beautiful, beautiful Friday it is.
It's beautiful because it's Friday.
That's true. That's true. And it's a free Friday. It's an extra weekend.
Amen.
So anyway, if you haven't been paying attention, guys, you haven't been on the channel before, we talked about SmashJT's bisexual lighting issue and the video that he obviously didn't watch.
They're
and yeah, and then what's really going on with the lighting, the different styles that involve that lighting, right? What do they call it? The vaporware. What's going on, McDizzle? We're about to put you on screen, and all this stuff around.
McDizzle.
For Shizzle McDizzle, always taking down the baddies. A true journalist that checks his sources. I saw Smash the other day make a comment about, like, I have insider information that something's going to happen, and I was like, McDizzle, are you at it again? Are you at it again, McDizzle?
Saying that for years.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's been faking those since the beginning. Here, let me put it in so you can see as well. Share some screen here. Share some screen.
Please do.
No, not that one.
Yeah, I gotta say, one of the funnest times I ever had in this whole I don't know, shit show. That's putting it lightly. Was how triggered Jeff and I think two of his other cronies got when one day I just kind of randomly tweeted out, like in a reply, they believe everything that I tell them, and then I deleted it 2 minutes later, like intentionally.
That probably got him rocking, right? What does he mean? What's going on?
So
Who's he
triggered.
feeding info to? My insider told me that they are putting by lighting in the water and making the anti-woke YouTubers gay. Smash
so
hitting his
what's
locale
going on
art.
with the reflective pool in Washington D.C. then?
Oh, where the paint is already scraping off of it. Do they put
Yeah, is that-
billions? Not billions. They put like millions of dollars into that to have shady work done, and it's probably still leaking. They're just not willing to admit it.
Oh, yeah. I saw that pool and I like thought back to Christmas Vacation. Shitter was full.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's a national like monument, so I would want to make it look good again. Definitely better than building a fucking ballroom attached to the White House. But like it's become like this vanity project now. This is uneven and it's gonna fucking bother me. All right, anyway. But yeah, that shit is fucking dumb. It's been dumb ever since.
Wild.
Yeah, and apparently Israel has again attacked Lebanon, which is probably going to hurt the Iran deal again.
Yeah.
So
I know
anyway,
gas is down to like 385 right now. I better fill up in the next hour.
yeah, you better like fill your fucking garage full of gas cans. But anyway, so on screen we have McDizzle's video. No, GTA 6's pink and purple lights aren't indoctrinating anyone. SmashJT debunked. I saw this on Twitter and I was like, okay, I absolutely have to add this to the docket for today. So obviously we have McDizzle, in chat. He may not be in there anymore, but we're gonna watch through it. We're gonna see what McDizzle has to say. He's been a debunker of SmashJT for a while now, so I'm really interested to see what he came up with and how similar maybe some of our takes are.
We got the great news that GTA 6 pre-orders are opening up next week on June 25th. A lot of questions up in the air, things that I've covered in previous videos, such as the price. Is there going to be a cost for roleplay? Is there going to be a cost for online? And the overall impact of the industry will be shattering. The game could easily make $1 billion next week, which is wild for
True.
a game that's not out for like 5 months.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really good, and Rockstar has always kind of like, especially with their big hitters, have always kind of brought out like bangers, right? They haven't had
They've always delivered.
Yeah, like GTA 5 was always going to make money, and then GTA Online makes money. Then Red Dead Redemption made tons of money. I don't know about Red Dead Redemption Online. I think it has a fan base, but I don't think it has the GTA size fan base. Red Dead Redemption 2 is why I started YouTube. Nice! I didn't know that. I mean, I knew you were a Rockstar fan. I see you tweet about them all the time. But I mean, Red Dead Redemption is such a good game.
Absolutely.
That people still... And it still holds weight, like, graphically and game-wise, even to this day, compared to, stuff that even comes out. Now they fucked up Red Dead Online big time, did they? Yeah, it seemed that way. It didn't seem like it got the same love as GTA tends to get, but GTA is the moneymaker.
You know the bad part about this whole thing is that like hitching their wagon to this particular game is the dumbest thing that they could have possibly done. I mean, one, the argument is stupid to begin with, but two, you can't tell me that this game is not going to sell. That this game is not going to like exceed expectations.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So their whole argument is going to fall because it's all about, well, you go woke, you go broke, they're putting this in and they're putting that in.
Yeah, but they're going to try and do what they've been doing for the last few games, like
Ghost of the Ghost of Yotai and all that.
Yeah, where they're going to be like, it's not exceeding it's not meeting expectations. It's a flaw. Like they're just going to ignore everything that that is like the truth to make up lies. Like Ghost of Yotai was a failure, even though it's what now reported doing better than the first game.
Sushi.
Then we had the 007 one where they're like 4 million in a week isn't good numbers. Then so I mean, it's going to be like that. And Rockstar's fan base is rabid and huge. Yes, that is a large fan base. You're talking about like and it's got like different groups within it. You've got like the online guys, you've got the role-playing guys in GTA. You've got, I mean, it's all over the place. It's a terrible game to try and say is woke because of purple lighting. And I'm sure he's going to show it here. He may show it here, but like a lot of Rockstar stuff, they would have considered, if it was out today, they would have considered it woke, right? Like if you look at the palette, or if you look at their main image for it, like their marketing image for it, and you look at the marketing pictures from all the other ones, it is pretty similar. And especially when it comes to like Vice City has always had a lot of those neon colors, pink, purple, things like that, right? And hugely gay characters. All right, let's get going.
Tony.
He strikes me as a guy that wouldn't play GTA because you have to shoot a cop. Who Smash? Yeah, I could see that. Let's get going.
Lots of great intelligent discussion and some not so intelligent, which is what we're going to talk about today. But let's talk about
bisexual. This is woke Smash, baby. Shirts off for female gamers. That's what Elon said. That was Elon that said that. Said what? Which one? That Rockstar is going to fail?
Lighting in GTA 6.
Wow.
The absolute worst take that.
Dude, I'm so happy that this video is getting shared around now more. It's such a funny image.
Well, I mean, look at the image. I mean, let's just take a look at the setup here. We got the stupid goofy hammer, which I think that lasted a week on his channel. Like, oh, I'm going to smash this game. So this is our gamer cred. This is our true gamer. We got a couple amiibo toys. We got boxes to consoles.
Yeah.
That's a fucking gamer right there, dude.
Huge gamer. So
what's his reply to that? You know, is he going to say, well, this is in my children's room? And I'm like, so you're wandering around your kid's room without a shirt on and you hung a hammer on the wall?
Well, this was his. So this takes me as he didn't have a lot of gamer stuff when he started his YouTube channel. So he got what he could together and went for like trying to make it look as gamer as possible. If you're asking what this is, why is he shirtless, Mike? This is a video that Smash made. It's called something like
Shirts are off for female YouTubers.
Yeah, well, it's not called that, but it's basically him taking his shirt off and talking about how women gamers are gamers and they deserve to be treated like everyone else. It is a very woke video when he was trying to get famous from woke. It has since, like, it's still on his channel, but it's there. That whole series around this time, he was very woke. He was he said that The Last of Us 2 was actually a very good game, and here's why people shouldn't be mad at hold on, what is this? They shouldn't be mad at it, that it was still a good story and all that. Wasn't the whole Funko Pop Fortress behind him a green screen? No. Well, I don't know. Was it? Hold on, I gotta see this.
The green screen thing was a couple of times that he was in his game room while he was doing whatever. I could give less than a shit what he's doing. I guess people had surmised that he was on vacation.
Yeah, or something like that. Did I not? What are you doing? Yeah. Copy image. Oh no, image link. That's why it's fucking up. Copy image link. Boom. A list of, this is the Elon quote. I remember now. A list of games I have not played: GTA 1 through 6, tried but didn't like doing crime. GTA 5 required shooting police officers in the opening scene, just couldn't do it. Yeah, I mean, it just shows like these guys aren't gamers. These guys pretend to be gamers. We've seen, you know, what happened with who was it? Elon, when he was trying to play Path of Exile, right? He was paying a Chinese guy to do it.
Yeah, you know what? Let's look at it. What is Elon's statement? I couldn't do crime.
Yeah, he couldn't shoot the cops. GTA 6 is Grand Theft Auto, right? The whole game is about crime. Yeah. I can steal cars, but I can't shoot cops. Well, maybe you're a pussy. Anyway, let's keep going.
We got the great news that GTA 6 pre-orders are opening up next. Intelligent discussion and some not so intelligent, which is what we're going to talk about today. But let's talk about bisexual lighting in GTA 6.
Let's go!
The absolute worst take that I've heard is that the gay agenda is going to be injected into you because of the color purple in GTA 6. And of course, it's from SmashJT.
Bisexual lighting, subliminal message. Bisexual lighting that excites us.
This is the complete opposite extreme to throwing a fit if police are presented positively. It's a crime simulator. Yeah, that's the whole point. Like, it's always been that way.
Bisexual light shining in his eyes. Bisexual
God damn, did you look coked out.
Dude, this was the great. Like this video was like a true case for why maybe AI should be able to make some of these videos.
Internet for his bisexual lighting takes. Smash went ahead and made a video about it. Let's go through it, debunk it, and talk about why Smash is going for this specific type of stuff. If you enjoyed this video, drop it a like, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I've covered Rockstar games pretty in depth on my channel, and we'll continue to do that as we get closer to GTA 6.
Something I've seen happen a lot over the past decade or so is an increasing amount of usage of certain particular colors on the spectrum.
Brother, you may be on the spectrum too.
Of the blue, pink, and purple variety. And it's something that I've noticed in the game industry that has reference to as something called bisexual lighting. And once you see it, you will not be able to unsee it.
30 seconds in and we already get the once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's just staring at them neon lights a little too long. It's like when people start seeing the Illuminati symbol in like every triangle. You train your brain to hunt patterns and suddenly everything looks really suspicious. There's a name for it. It's called pareidolia. It's like seeing the faces in the clouds or Jesus in your toast. Except here the toast is purple and SmashJT thinks it's turning gamers bi. The bigger
Well, it's like yeah, I can see what you're saying there, but it's also like it's taking your pattern recognition and adding it to your confirmation bias. You'll go and say like, oh, there's a song and a flag with these colors, so every time you see those colors, it has to be. Oh, is that the next term? Pattern recognition. It has to be gay. It's like when you get a new truck. We talked about this.
Umbrella here is called apopania. It includes seeing connections in numbers, events, stories, and data that aren't really there.
You remember Dragon Age of Veilguard with the purple, the light shades of blue and purple and pink that were everywhere.
I see what you're saying there. That's a good word. We're gonna have to start using that word.
Doing very similar things, not just with the logo, but the trailer itself, just pink lighting everywhere.
It's a mysterious and a royal color, which works well for fantasy games. Now, without that color around, would Dragon Age the Veilguard be any good? Probably not. But Cyberpunk used those colors, so did the original GTA Vice City, and they were great.
I did a little bit of
Yeah, we were talking about this last time when we were talking about it. There's so many places that use it. And you even use kind of a similar term to what we said, where it's like mysterious. So it's used in a lot of magic. It's used in a lot of occult stuff. It's used in movies for different things like nightclubs and things like that. That was all stuff we were talking about. But we can't see that. We only see that it's turning the anti-wokes gays. It pops. I go into dev stuff too. Usually Unreal 5 makes colors pop. Okay.
research on this. This is Kabruta saying, Can you guys
Cabritas.
see?
I've said it before and I'll say
I
it
quote
again.
tweeted saying,
Anytime you hear any of these guys say, I did a little research, they didn't do shit.
They didn't do any research. he reads Twitter. This is all he does, right?
Gatekeep harder.
bisexual lighting is an actual term used within the industry to subconsciously push the LGBTQ plus agenda.
Like, I'm going to say this like over and over and over again every time I talk to Smash. Reading your own fucking tweets is pathetic.
Cringe.
Like, it's cringe and pathetic. Like, you shouldn't there may be a case somewhere, but you could just say your points over it. Like, I was talking about this on X and then go into what the other person said, but don't read your own tweets.
No, it's because it's not his thoughts. He's not going to remember it. He didn't write this. If you sit down and write something out, chances are you're going to remember the basic bullet talking points because you've been staring at a screen typing it for hours. And let's not forget the irony. What is the color of his little SmashJT thing there in his webcam?
Oh yeah. I pointed that out.
Yeah.
The purple. So have you seen his other background? The one with the retro? It's blue and purple and pink.
Oh no, yeah, no, I pointed that out to you. Remember when?
Yeah, you
when
did.
Colin was cleaning his shit out. That's just a generic.
You sent it to me, didn't you?
Yeah. That right there sums up Jeff Tarzia's entire thing. Generic took it from someone else, not his own.
I have it somewhere. Anyway, let's keep going.
The video game industry has been co-opted by a cult trying to constantly gaslight the masses that their own eyes are lying. Gatekeep harder. And this is a video from Kyle Kalgren from 7 years ago called Bisexual Lighting, The Rise of Pink, Purple, and Blue. A quick intro, this is only 41 seconds.
So if you watch this video, I don't know that McDizzle is going to bring up anything in the video, but if you watch this video, this guy kind of disproves himself while he's going through it. It's just crazy. The irony of him doing the exact same cult thing. Yeah, it's kind of a it's kind of a commonplace, it seems like now. Doc info.
With this dumb dick, irony and self-awareness are just riddled.
Well, intelligence too.
Yeah.
While this video about bisexual lighting does talk about what bisexual lighting is, it doesn't describe what Smash says in his tweet. The video is more about the science of the lighting, not its ability to make you want to suck a dick. Going back to that pareidolia we talked about earlier. The bisexual agenda's in the clouds.
Want to talk about bi-lighting? Well, any lighting that replicates the color scheme of the bisexual flag, that being pink, blue with purple in between. The flag itself dates back to 1998, when an activist named Michael Page designed it to increase bi visibility within the LGBT community.
Okay, this didn't tell anyone how the clouds make people gay.
Let's dive down the rabbit hole of the bisexual lighting in games, and you guys tell me if there's an agenda being pushed here by consultancy agencies, corporations, companies, and people looking.
The answer is there's not.
To get low interest loans by DEI.
You tell me, you're the one inferring it.
From the big banks. You got Dolan saying it's called bisexual lighting. This is a red flag for any product that it appears in. This includes both AAA games as well as indie games, and it has been everywhere for the last decade of the woke era. Everything with this color scheme is slop.
So many games use this color aesthetic, good and bad. You know, there's some nasty ones. There's Cyberpunk, there's Borderlands, there's Fortnite, Apex Legends, Vice City, the original. It's been a default visual, especially for a lot of cities, for a long time.
And my goodness, there's a lot of examples over and over and over again.
That's not data. That's just you seeing what you want to see.
Obviously, get your exceptions with everything. Like Fall Guys, pretty fun game, but it always goes back to the whole, look at this, the type of people working at these games and what they're trying to inject into them.
Please get help, man. Games cover art is not trying to inject anything into you. And you know what? Your obsession with gay people is kind of startling. Over your last 2 days of tweets, over half them are talking about LGBTQ, gayness, transness, woke, etc., etc. Did somebody close to you come out or something and you just can't cope? Weird thing for a straight man to be obsessed about. That's from a fellow straight man.
This is the Wikipedia article.
Are you, though? Are you? So this is an excuse to make a boogeyman. Yeah, it's really popular all of a sudden again to, like, hate gay people. And trans have always been on, like, a list when it comes to it. So it's kind of like we're taking this big step back, and they're trying to say that they're going to trans your kids, or they're, you know, like he talks about like the LGBTQ, but then he says it's bisexual lighting. So I guess that's the first step to turning gay. First you have sex with both kinds, and then you turn gay, right? That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Fall Guys more like fall gays. Am I right? Am I right? Emoji. Remy Green gonna trans his house. She's gonna win the case, and one of the requirements is he has to paint his house blue, pink, and purple.
Saying bisexual lighting is the simultaneous use of pink, purple, and blue lighting, and is used to represent bisexual characters. It has been used in studio lighting for film and television, and has been observed in the cinematography of various films. While not all films, television shows, photographs, and music videos that use this lighting intend to portray bisexuality, many queer artists have deliberately used this color palette, which resembles that of the bisexual flag, in their work. It is reminiscent.
What a surprise. People of a group who make a flag will use that flag's colors in their schemes and things around it, right? Someone else mentioned, I think it was Kamoji mentioned, that there's a group that really liked red, white, and black, and they incorporated it into just about everything that they did in those times, right? Uniforms and everything else. So are we saying that red, white, and black can never be used again? That would be stupid.
Of neon lights.
This is basically saying that if you use the Nazi colors, if you use red, white, and black, you're a Nazi. Because what Smash is saying is if you use purple, pink, and blue, or in any freaking order, you're part of the LGBTQ. It's ridiculous.
And is also associated with retro wave. And you'll get people to be like, oh no, there's no such thing as bisexual lighting. That's retro wave from the 80s. Yeah, the same thing as a rainbow's just a rainbow until it gets co-opted by a cult.
You know, if he saw the color red anywhere in there, he would likely say it was communist propaganda. The brain rot is real.
Yes.
Hi, King Feanor saying, I'm beginning to hate the color purple. George Vanderbilt, quote tweeting Cabrutus, bisexual lighting. We got Noir. Whenever I see this weird purple aesthetic...
You see, and I'm mentioning this again in this one, but we're watching McDizzles, and he may bring it up too, so I might be pausing him. But you see what he does? He only reads his friends' tweets that will, you know, positively talk about him. He's not going to go talk about how Atreus... He's not going to go pull up the tweet where Atreus was like, hey, I think you're missing the point here, and try and make an argument with him. He's just going to straight up... only talk about those guys that are being positive with him. It even looks like he may be trying to saddle in with Yorch and JDA again to like see if he can come up that way. Smash is back to what he was doing before he became popular. He's searching for the next clout grab, but now he's limited himself to the culture war. He can't change away from the culture war. So he's tried the Indian racism, performative Indian racism, hoping he can get a crowd there. He's done the He's trying to do this bisexual lighting thing. He's been doing like the trans and LGBTQ stuff. It's all to try and find his niche, because his channel, at the very least, when you look at the numbers, it's stalling. And at the worst, he's starting to lose more subs, less people are coming, less views are happening. He's being a suck up. Yeah, he's very much being a suck up to anyone who may be able to get his career back on track.
It's immediately a red flag, or dare I say, a bisexual flag.
I mean, this is you just looking at tweets from people just as delusional as you, which they exist.
Again, I noticed it directly when I was watching the God of War reveal at the State of Play.
You thought about the gay agenda when you saw a woman? Just kidding, you saw color and the pareidolia kicked in. You got to know that there's numerous
Pareidolia,
non-media
bud.
reasons why those colors are there, right? Don't worry, we're going to talk about that more in a few minutes.
I even mentioned it during the live stream. Like while it was happening, I was like, it's a really awful lot of purple, pink, and blue
Let's
here.
make
This
this
is very
bigger.
bisexual lighting aesthetic throughout the entire thing. It's crazy stuff. Laundry list of examples. Fortnite. This is back August 2nd, 2025. Yeah, we called the experts for this one. Is that Halo? Is that Master Chief style? Is that bisexual lighting? We got the blue, pink,
You are
and
so
purple.
stupid.
Dude.
So the super successful game uses this lighting scheme you're talking about. Okay.
I said lots of bisexual lighting going on here. Grok, let people know.
They've also been using that purple color palette for like a while now. It's been like a theme within the game for some time.
What this means.
Well, something I have to say about this really quick is one, the retro wave thing. He had that up, and that wasn't a problem. And two, for someone as so intelligent as Jeff, it took him how long to realize that this was a conspiracy?
Yeah, right. It's just now. He's just now. What is going on here?
Yeah, he's just now seeing it.
He's just now
Stupid ass.
seeing it. It's them. Yeah. Fortnite season has had alien bugs that were purple. You would fight them and the storm is purple. Yeah, it's been a theme in their game for a long time. You would think as popular as Fortnite is, all of the kids would be bisexual by now, right? Everyone who plays it.
Every single one of them.
Bisexual lighting uses pink, purple, and blue hues, colors of
Oh
the
no, he's using grok.
bisexual pride flag to represent bi characters or themes in media. Here, the Fortnite scenes goo, flowers, and sunset evoke that vibe.
But that still doesn't speak to any injection of ideology. It's just saying colors invoke a vibe.
March 16th of 2026. I said, Time Takers from NCSoft, another live service slop fest pushing bisexual lighting and gay-ass character designs. Holy shit. Someone tell these devs to take a fucking hint.
You know what's funny? Maybe they did take a hint. Maybe other developers took a hint from GTA 6 and went for those vibrant colors. But again, all I'm seeing are games using these colors and no connection to any hidden agenda. As I shared before, lots of games use this aesthetic, and it's not limited to just the shitty ones. However, he'll show off the shitty ones to facilitate his delusion. Anyways, he goes through a few more examples of games.
Yeah, and when you see this, like they try to talk about the games that are, you could argue, that are woke, right? They try and talk about the games that you could argue that are woke, but it's gotten so delusional now that they try and talk about the games that aren't woke, like Ghosts of Yotai. There was really nothing woke in that, but they made up lies about the ending characters being lesbians together, and that the game wasn't, making tons of money or wasn't doing well, even though they made profit on the game within the first, day of it. Oh, this guy. Hold on. Boop. So it's gotten so delusional that they'll find any reason to call a game, woke. The new God of War Lafayette, or whatever it's called, is just another example of that. There's nothing out about the game besides the trailer that we've seen, but because there's a woman on screen, it's woke. With the Fable thing, like, I think there are arguments to be made about Fable's, what's it called? New morale system. Like, there are things that I like about it, but I don't like that it doesn't do things into it. There's real arguments that you can make about these games that don't follow the anti-woke series, right? And it's getting even worse as games succeed and they try and go for it. Smash acts like it's Grand Theft Auto 6 transmission. I like that play on words. That's good.
When this is done, there is a little bit of a bombshell that I kind of want to drop. It's nothing like a new developing thing, but it's an interesting thing that you didn't know about, that I hadn't really told you about.
Okay.
You're gonna love. You're gonna love it.
All right. I'm down.
I know you're down. We'll wait until this one's done, though.
Yeah. So would a shitty game be less bad if it had less purple in it? Games I don't wish the biggest issues they had was having too much purple instead of the gameplay and story issues. Well, that's what you talk about with, like, let's talk about Concord, right? That game was like the biggest failure in history outside of something like no, GT. There was another one, I can't remember the name of it. The Day Before was, right. But it wasn't the, like, if you took out all of the things that made that game, that made Concord, like, if you took out the things that you would consider woke in that game, would it have done better, considering it was a pay your money game with nothing really different, that were told to do Guardians of the Galaxy style characters, right? Nothing could have saved that game from being bad. It definitely wasn't because it was quote unquote woke, right?
Yeah, you're not going to take on Fortnite and take it down. You're not going to take on Arc Raiders and take it down. You're not going to take on even PUBG, even though it's like at its lowest popularity, and take it down.
Yeah. Paid PvP games are pretty doomed. Yeah, they're already on the back foot when you're a paid game, considering how much stuff is already massive and free to play, right?
Had purple in them that didn't do well. And shows off some tweets from some other morons.
It's also tiring. What a waste of resources. The character designs and intros for Time Takers are beautiful. The team did a really good job here, says Zach Wilder. I mean, even the shield, you got the pink, purple, and blue. This is not
it's a
done
color
by
scheme.
Yeah, it's a color scheme, and this character doesn't look bad, right? I've heard some people say they don't like him. Maybe it does look a little generic, but I don't think it's a bad color scheme on it, or even bad.
It's like a modern day
character.
Knight.
Yeah, it seems like what they're going for.
accident.
It's a modern day
Let's
Knight
try
armor.
to insidiously push this agenda.
Bro, it's colors on armor.
Okay.
You've provided no evidence of it pushing any agenda. You just have feelings. Now, if you had a smoking gun of a developer saying, yeah, they made us put those colors in there to try to indoctrinate children, that'd be a different story. But you don't.
And oh, by the way, Time Takers still not available, coming soon, no updates, and this is going to flop so hard, it's not even funny. We already know. It's bisexual lighting.
They're still working on it.
Yeah, it's games that haven't even come out are flopping, which is already like they're putting themselves up for failure on it. And then hold on, there was something that was said before that I wanted to address.
Try to indoctrinate children, that'd be a different story. But you don't.
And oh, by the
Yeah, and that's the whole thing of, like, this new anti-woke that has come out, the Gamergate 3 guys, or whatever they want to call themselves. Is there is no evidence for what it is. It's literally just like it used to be. It's all about feelings. None of it is about facts. There's no facts that they have for any of this stuff going on. It's just when someone brings up a fact, even like, hey, the game sold and started making profit day one, they're like, no, it's a flop. It didn't meet expectations. And they just say stuff. It's feelings over facts. When you give them facts, they just don't listen. It's just the same that it used to be with the old, like, SJWs. I've said it over and over again.
The way Time Takers still not available, coming soon, no updates, and this is going to flop so hard, it's not even funny. We already know. It's bisexual lighting, and it's another example on how the message is more powerful than entertainment. While in some situations, the gay lighting fits, in others, it's shit and completely removes the tension or aggression from the scene. But the message is more important.
Yeah,
The fact that the person in charge of the development team is gay.
Yeah, this guy, Voss, is definitely
thinks it's a good idea to
a freaking guy who would know color palettes and how they work in games. This guy just is going with the flow. He's never heard of this bisexual lighting before, and he's using it to try and make something up. Playing Final Fantasy VII at Damage Sector. You know it. You can always come on if you want to. I remember Mina the Howler was even targeted by Smash on day one, and he dropped it the moment it was popular and sold well. Yeah, that's that's just it. They'll say, hey, this is going to be a flop, and then there's two modes that they go down. Either it is a flop and they get to try and run with it for a couple of days, or it's not a flop and then they have two other options: keep saying it's a flop, or just ignore it. Ghost of Yotai did great. Didn't Alina dude say more revenue? Yeah.
But the message is more important. The fact that the person in charge of the development team is gay thinks it's a good idea to self-insert the identity, despite that 99% of the customers are not gay.
As far as I know, the director of GTA 6 isn't gay and is not trying to self-insert any gayness. Those are some pretty big assumptions. If you make claims like this, you got to back it up.
I mean, there's probably a higher percent of customers that are gay, but it's a very high percent of customers that are straight. And this is pandering to a very specific focus. This is Chris saying, "Why?"
This is like saying that kids drawing rainbows in class, something that's been done since the beginning of time, is trying to turn them gay, right? It's just ridiculous. Like, if you see colors and you think gay people, that's probably something you should check in on. Maybe go have a talk with a gay guy about that lifestyle, see if it's something that you enjoy. It's pandering to people that like the color purple, right? Right? What is this guy doing? Where are you going? Why is my character going to do things? You see him? He's just wandering. Hold on. Why is he just wandering? Where is he going?
He's doing whatever the fuck he feels like.
Oh, I know what he's doing. He's stealing parts to repair this thing, because I said I have a thing to repair it. If he can find the parts to repair it on the station, steal them, buddy. I'm a criminal.
By all means.
Wait until you see how SmashJT supports the LGBTQ. Oh, I know he has. I've seen some of this stuff. He used to be like very woke, very, very woke.
Why are these color schemes being pushed so hard in Western gaming currently?
Let's see if it's new stuff I haven't seen before.
And again, once you see it, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Yasuke,
Assassin's Creed
like, bro,
Shadows?
when Ubisoft pushed this out, I covered it in a video like, what are we doing, Ubisoft?
What are we
Dragon's
doing?
Veilguard,
Okay,
Grand Theft Auto, and Call of Duty Warzone. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Heel versus babyface, bisexual lighting, not wowing the audiences. Shocker. Quote tweeting Grums. They really tried hard last year.
Dude, these are like all of the guys that are actually like falling off. Like, no one gives a shit about any of these people anymore. Learning the law has always had the most retarded takes I've ever seen. Grums is he can't even tweet correctly. He can't get anything right. He messes up tweets so often that it's just like expected that he's going to be wrong.
Didn't they?
Hey, Grums, that's the guy exposed for scamming $600,000 from his backers.
Learning the law, the color palette that instantly transformed you into a non-binary gamer. Redfall was another one. I forgot all about that. And Suicide Squad.
Redfall had one character that had the purple powers, right? And she was like kind of an eldritch character, which is a pretty common theme amongst Magic. Gamergate 2.0.
Assassin's Creed is about witches.
Yeah. Gamergate 2.0 just seems like the old games journalists where it's all cliques gassing each other up and making sure everyone follows the narrative they want set. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think what I said about it a long time ago is like we went from bad journalism in gaming to worse journalism in gaming, because now we get it from both sides.
Assassin's Creed code name.
Wait till I say what I got to say.
Which was reportedly the gayest Assassin's Creed ever to be developed. X-Defiant, Gotham Knights, Dragon Age the Veilguard. Are you guys noticing anything? What about the new ones? Grego, what did they mean when they used bisexual lighting for this? MCU film news? Logan shirtless in Insomniac's Wolverine. I mean, all I'm doing is bringing information. You guys do with this what you...
So, Smash sees a man without a shirt, Logan, a superhero without a shirt, and he starts to have gay thoughts. Just leave that there.
Yeah, Wolverine actually looks like some brainless fun. Again, theme of the video, SmashJT has just shown games with purple somewhere in the aesthetic. And if I had to guess, it boils down to him being upset that gay people have jobs in the game industry. It's kind of hypocritical when he directly is active in doing stuff for organizations that support LGBTQ+ and Pride. Makes it sound like a sad bit for engagement. We know from his ChatGPT logs from his lawsuit that he designs Girl Scout activities. in which the San Diego Girl Scouts are celebrating Pride all month long. Maybe he's part of the problem. So, it could be the gay agenda coming to get you is the reason why we see purple lighting in lots of games. Or after talking to developers, it can be numerous reasons. There's better technology out there that actually makes it look amazing with neon glows, light bounces, in Unreal 5 and beyond. What looked really shitty in 2010, 2015 looks smooth now. And it pops visually in screenshots, trailers, and dark night scenes. As well as for practical and marketing reasons, these colors create a strong contrast in mood and dark scenes. They look good in trailers, pop in thumbnails. I mean, you're talking about them. That's what developers have said anyway. And you've provided no evidence that leads to this being any kind of agenda. It's kind of sad to see someone this far gone. Once they have a really strong belief, like that really resonates with them, like the gays are coming to get me and destroy my life, their brain will start hyper-focusing on anything that vaguely fits that pattern, and that gets amplified by confirmation bias. If you pair this with delusions and paranoia, it can be a spicy combination. Like he really wants to tie in that color scheme all the way to the point where it's about indoctrinating people. And you can't do that without evidence.
How many times do you need to be shown something before you're like, maybe it's not a coincidence anymore? Maybe there is an agenda going on in the game industry, and
this is the same thing that people say when they talk to you about how the birds aren't real or how, you know, the earth is flat. Like how many things do you have to connect before you believe that the earth is flat, right? Look at all these connections here that I've made. I've made tons of look at my board with all the red string.
How many times do we have to have proof that SmashJT is a lying sack of shit before you realize that maybe it's just not people that are jealous of him or his success?
Pattern recognition, baby. Pattern recognition. Let's see if I have enough to fix this now.
I'm not going to allow myself to be gaslit anymore by these people that
Get
tell me
the
that
fuck outta
it's
here.
just
No, he's only going to allow himself to be gaslit by himself.
my imagination, because it's a very clear agenda that's being pushed. Bisexual lighting is being pushed to the.
It's also crazy that you talked about like his kids are in Girl Scouts. He talks about his daughter is in Girl Scouts, is talking about his kids being in Girl Scouts. But he, like, what does he say to his kids about this stuff, right? What does he tell his kids when the Girl Scouts is supporting Pride Month? Does he tell his wife and kids that we have to stop going? Like what conversation would he have with his family over these things? I just don't believe that his family knows anything about what he talks about online.
He wouldn't, because he doesn't have the balls to ever like deal with that type of pushback.
True.
You've seen how he tucks tails and runs away the minute that someone presses him. Imagine going, "Oh my God, she's wearing a purple smock. They're indoctrinating her."
Blue and purple. Honey, you can't wear those pants. Those pants are turning me gay. There's too much purple and blue.
Trying its darndest to take an entire generation of people and indoctrinate the next generation to make this feel like a normal thing. So that when they see the flags out in.
So when did they start? The 80s is what we found out the other day. So they've been indoctrinating people to the 80s, and what the LGBT community is still only about 1% of the population. Feels like Smash is grasping at straws without abandoning the anti-woke angle, because those currently make up 90% of his profit in donations. Yes, that's exactly what's happening. He's doing what he used to do. He's trying to find the next clout chase, the next grift. And he's floundering because he's not really an intelligent guy. I mean, look how I call myself a lazy streamer, but like, he's lazier than me because he's just reading off tweets of what he does, or of what he's already said and what his friends have said, right? There's no challenging yourself with this. There's no bringing people on that may disagree with you. There's no actual conversation because he knows there's nothing behind it. He can't win any of these arguments. We saw that with Colin.
In society, they feel comfortable around them. They're more accepting of it. And hopefully, the way that these fucktards think, they can indoctrinate them easier into the cult. Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm crazy?
So video games use a variety of colors. And he didn't tie in any proof into the gay agenda. I'm disappointed. Is it because there's no agenda around indoctrination with colors in video games? I mean, it's a pretty tough sell. And I have to speak about how low it is just to be obsessed with gay people and make that a huge part of your grift. Enough that you see the gay in lights. And the only proof that he would attempt to offer is someone who's gay or someone that's spicy works there. And that's not proof. Anyways, his own comment section roasted him, Twitter.
Yeah, one of the things that helped turn me away from like the anti-woke side of it was, one, me starting to do my own research and not just listening to what these people said, and two was watching Avowed, or like during the Avowed drama and stuff like that. Or was it? No, it was Veilguard. So Avowed had already started to turn me. Veilguard came out, and one of these devs, you know, announced that she had worked on the game and she was proud of it. Well, because she fit the standard of these normal people, or these woke people, she started to get attacked by everybody online. And like, she really had nothing to do with it. She didn't decide what to put in the games, what was going on. She was just a dev who was proud of her work. And I was like, that doesn't fit with anything. There's no proof that they have for any of this. It's just them making up shit at this point and going after people who really have nothing to do with it.
There's roasting him. I'm sure he's getting roasted elsewhere as well. And he's pretty much doubled.
Pretty much all of Smash's tweets nowadays are just him getting fucking roasted.
Tripled and quadrupled down on it. It's pretty hilarious.
Why does this keep happening? I'll leave that there. Don't believe you're lying on it. Exactly. I'm like, how am I? I'm like the dude that's in James Bond. Like,
I'm sure it must be hard for Smash with not everyone sharing these delusions.
So James Bond sold 5 million in 1 week. Yorch called it a flop, even though Stellar Blade took 14 months to sell 4 million copies. And I still consider that game a success. 14 months, because it didn't sell all that well on PlayStation. It sold better on PC.
And I'm going to Kanye you really quick. McDizzle, whatever you do, don't leave. Please. Go ahead.
One of the final straws for me was the Doom Dark Ages drama, where the anti-woke were trying to say it was woke and had a girl boss, which wasn't true, and easily disproven if you played the video game. Yeah, it's just the thing where they'll take a screenshot and turn it around.
How many times do I have to show examples? And people are just like, I've noticed it, but
I need a drink. Be right
back. Here, I'll put your finger on it for you. There it is, right there. That's what it is.
For me too.
Well, no, your finger's not on it. You're just providing examples of games that have used purple, amongst other colors in the palette. You haven't tied a bat to any sort of wild agenda around indoctrinating people. And I think we demonstrated that in this video, as there was no evidence to really back up his indoctrination claims. Rage bait, delusion, somewhere in the middle. Anyways, if you made this far, thanks so much for watching, and you have a great day.
Oh, you too, McDizzle, you too. Good as always from McDizzle. I enjoyed that. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that he is just like grasping at straws. Whoa. I'm not worried about the diaper-loving degenerate. Let's close that off.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I get all sorts of crazy shit. I like learning about crazy personalities on the internet. Or like I had a whole string and I want to go back to it. Where I was looking up really fucked up video games, right? Like Ethnic Cleansing, the video game, written by it's a rabbit hole to go down.
I already know about fucking Super Columbine Massacre RPG. I remember.
Yeah, and stuff like that, because I enjoy looking at those crazy things that come out. Or like the NES game that was a rapes game. It was called like 83 or something like that. I don't think it was ever on a console, but you chase a woman down and you catch her, and then you have to please her before the time runs out. If you don't, the cops come and get you. If you do, then you marry her.
They had a game like that on Atari too.
Maybe that was Atari. Maybe it was Atari that did that.
Where like you're going around a neighborhood, you break into houses and bang dudes, and then there's a guy that's like escaping from jail.
No, that's a different one. I got to find that one because we can watch
Custer's Revenge.
Oscar's Revenge?
No, Custer, like
Custard.
General Custer.
Oh. Okay, I got to look at that. Custer's Revenge.
Yeah, there's where you play General Custer and an Indian, like or a Native American, is
yeah,
strapped
I
to a
do
cactus.
remember that game.
They had all sorts of weird shit. So what's next on the agenda?
Well, you said you have something to show me, bud. I wanna see what you
Yeah,
have to
I
show me.
do. All
And
right,
then-
so what is SmashJT's biggest mission? Like, why did he start going after Kotaku and things like that?
It was well.
What was he demanding out of journalism?
Wasn't it better journalism? I don't know what. See, that part of Smash's life, I don't remember why he did. I know Alyssa was a part of it because that was the first one.
I'll give you the spoiler. Integrity. He was demanding integrity, transparency, honesty, things like that. Now, I know you haven't been around for the whole thing, but a lot of things that I used to chuck at Jeff's way was, how about those SEC filings? And he never would say anything about it. And, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, Sierra Echo Charlie, Security and Exchanges Commission. When he was fucking around with the Amico, he was promoting it, but he was not disclosing that he had a financial stake in it.
Okay. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I think I remember this with the Amico scam that he didn't have any.
He threw $10,000 in the river. He became an investor in that. So you have to disclose that you have a financial, stake in something that you're actively promoting. You know? So where this comes around to the integrity thing is after all this had split, and this is something I haven't thrown out, but this was always one of my favorite things of just this whole history. And I got a receipt, finally, because I didn't want to come without receipts, and I'll let you play the receipt.
Okay.
After Smash saw that this whole thing was going down and that he started saying, yeah, this is all bullshit. I saw through Tommy, his lies and all that. One of the other Amico cultists had gone on a rant and talked about how him, her, bunch of other people that were like hardcore into the Amico used to be a part of Google, like those, what are they, meetups or hangouts or whatever. The chat rooms with Amico staff, and they were feeding them shit to say.
No shit.
Yes, shit. The video was immediately deleted, and I am gonna PM you the link to somebody who fucking saved the audio of this person ranting about it.
Let's go. Here, let me see it. I'm willing.
So integrity in gaming. Integrity. Jeff, integrity.
Oh boy. All right. Let's bring this up here. I'm going to bring it. It's just the audio, but we'll
but I wanted McDizzle to stay around because we know how McDizzle loves to laugh.
He may be there.
Shit. Oh,
he's demanding. His real thing is he wants the journalist to say what he wants to hear. Let's hear this.
The guy who spells Amico backwards.
Sema Vision. I don't know who that is though.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's Amico backwards.
Saggy Melons admits that ex-CEO Tommy Tularco has Google Hangout calls with YouTube influencers who walk them through public relation posts before they go public. This includes the most recent SEC document. Let's listen now.
Here, right? For the haters who gotta come here, let me just inform you that not only did SmashJT know about that SEC file way before everyone else did, because we were all in a friggin' Google Hangout call with Jeff while Tommy was explaining to us what was going to happen when this went public. And explained to us literally for 2 hours or so, literally 75 pages, all 75 pages, SmashJT was there. And it was broken down to him with the rest of us to explain what it was and everything. And SmashJT was there, and he didn't say shit. He didn't say a goddamn thing.
This just gets crazier every day. Good entertainment, better than a reality TV show.
So basically, he had like
backwards.
insider information beforehand. That's
Yes.
crazy. This is getting clipped and going on fucking X.
I was fucking waiting to get something because I didn't want to just come out and say it because you know.
Because without evidence, it doesn't mean anything. But this is
what
this
did
is
they
flat
say?
out saying that he was like getting insider information ahead of everybody else.
Well, yeah,
Smash,
because he
what's
was
going
an
on,
investor.
buddy? What's going on?
He was an investor.
Yeah, he was an investor,
And
so he was insider. That's
And
nuts.
I believe in the team at Amigo, and I've played the console hands-on, and I think it has a very bright future. Hours of entertainment for the entire family.
Jesus Christ.
All right,
man.
so once again, so anybody saying where's the original live stream, yada yada yada, this was deleted very, very, very shortly after it was put up. Somebody clipped it. The reason why it was put out is because they were so pissed at Jeff for
I saw through Tommy's lies. I knew that it was a bullshit the whole time.
Because
that's funny.
That was absolutely one of the funniest things ever. And once again, just to add a little bit of context, he proudly invested $10,000 to get a Ferrari ride.
Yeah, he was knew it was bullshit and sank 10K into it. Well, it's also the thing that like they weren't talking positively about it just because they thought they liked the idea. They were in group chats being fed by the company what they should say. So it's like it's exactly the problem that we talk about in the gaming industry or anything else, right?
Well, he didn't know that it was bullshit. The thing is that Tommy was really peddling this as a legitimate system. Jeff invested in it like the reason why most other people invested in it. Why a lot of these fucking like low fucking subscriber YouTube channels, and before anyone throws it at me, I didn't invest in this fucking thing. But these YouTube channels, and this is it. Tommy went to all these low sub cap channels and basically said, you could be right in the ground floor, and that's it. They wanted to be like like people on the ground floor of something brand new. Because if you're going to start a YouTube channel and you break into NES, how many people have done videos, retrospectives, reviews of NES games? Amico, you would have been one of the first ones to do it, and you would have probably been able to get shit out before anyone else because you had invested in it, hoping for a little bit of money back, and also grow your channel because you would be getting the shit out first. These people all invested in it because they thought that it was going to be a viable thing and that this thing was going to outsell everything. And I think people did the numbers crunching, and it's like you'd have to buy the Amico twice in order for it to be like turning a profit, to be able to make a significant difference. So but these idiots never crunch the numbers. They just thought about, oh boy, am I going to get a big YouTube channel out of this? No, they fucking were being fed information. They were being told what to say. And as someone who is an investor who is telling people, you need to buy this product, that's a huge violation. And that's what I always gave him shit about. What about the SEC thing? What about the SEC thing? Because as an investor, you need to disclose it. You are legally required to disclose that you have a stake in something. All right? Because if I was going to build up fucking Scary Jersey steaks and I was sitting there telling, damn, this is the best steak I ever ate in my life. I'm going to come to this restaurant every single fucking week. Well, there's a photo of me with our founder below it. That's a huge, integrity breach. So for some clown who so eloquently stated in McDizzle's video,
how many times do I have to show you things to show you that this is what it is? I'm just giving you the information. Do what you must with it.
And there you go. How many times do you have to find out what a disingenuous prick this guy is before you realize what it is?
Oh, he's an absolute scumbag. Absolutely.
Yes, but you know what? You can clip it and put it on YouTube, and Jeff will,
oh, this is taken out of context.
No, this is just integrity. Demands
Yeah,
integrity out of the video game industry. Demands integrity. No access media. Well, remember that one when they were screaming about access media? This is access as fuck.
No shit. He had like the insider information. He was, you know, he rode in the. We've already joked about he rode in the car, but yeah, it was
He was in the car, he
special
was in the
treatment for it.
Well, yeah, no, because when I'll never forget when he first did the shit.
Oh my God, it was so awesome to see his amazing Spider-Man collection. And oh, look at all the retro games that he has. Oh my God, he's got a Famicom.
I mean, I'm. It's awesome that Tommy paid $50 to import it from Japan, because that, you know, importing Famicom stuff is dirt cheap. Just letting you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But the whole thing is fucking. As soon as it all went downhill, and as soon as like Tommy was out of it,
oh, you know, when I went over there, the house was kind of a mess.
You know, then he started trashing the guy's house. That's how fast he turns on you. That's how fast he turns on people.
I remember watching all of that Telemico stuff, because he even wouldn't turn around and apologize for the things that he had done and said. So, but yep. So that's the recent stuff with SmashJT and Bisexual lighting, and a little treat at the end with someone admitting that SmashJT just had all sorts of insider information, and they were in group chats being fed the information they need. So no integrity, nothing like that with Smash. He only cares about making it big. All right. Oh, terrible. Man. So next up on the plate, I've been following, I kind of came in towards the middle of it. I haven't seen the first two videos, but we watched Remnant777's video on Wednesday talking about he was responding to a video that Anthony Googly Eye Gobbly was making where it was talking about his particular video on why artists are mentally ill, or why leftist artists are mentally ill. We watched through it. I probably will go back and watch the video at some time. You know, Remnant has removed the videos because he was afraid of Ant-Man taking down his stuff and things like that. Well, Anthony has already responded to him with it, so we're going to watch Anthony's now and see what he has to say. I may have a guest on if he responds back to me that wanted, because I was talking about asking about Anthony from some people who are not Anthony, Remnant, who know him a little better. So we'll see what happens there. I'm going to try and watch this hour video and not be an hour off stream, but we'll see how, an hour over stream, but we'll see how that goes.
Now I have to run myself, but I figured that you would enjoy that little fucking tidbit.
I do. That was beautiful. Thank you. I've put it on X already. So
and he didn't say shit.
Yeah. Oh, the Amico scam still coming to bite him in the ass. Still coming. All right, brother.
That was definitely a true prophecy from Pat and Ian. This will never go away. This will haunt you to the ends of the earth, and it still is.
Yep.
Have a good night, folks.
You too, bud. You too. All righty then. Boop. There we go. So let's get started, boys and girls. I made a nice little chunk of change with that latest group. So now I got to see if I can find the tiles I want and adjust some stuff.
Himself out as a grifter, as a terrible media critic, and according to himself, somebody that shouldn't be taken seriously at all. It's that bad. By the way, Anthony, if you're watching this, if you claim I'm taking anything you say out of context or misrepresenting it, prove it.
Okay. What happens when you criticize a media grifter's video? Eventually, they respond by telling...
So this I'll just say off the bat, like this is something that I don't like about Anthony. Yeah, me having a seizure because I always have to move seats in my seat. This automatic idea of just calling someone a grifter is the worst, because we don't know. I don't know Remnant well enough to know he's a grifter. I've watched 2 of his videos. I've vastly disagreed with a lot of stuff in those 2 videos, but that doesn't make him a grifter just because I think his ideas are retarded, right? There's very few that I will call grifters. I've said it over and over and over again on the channel, Smash obviously being one. So this already starts off like your typical wokey video.
In their audience, you're the Antichrist, or a liar, or just too dumb to function. However, one recent call-out video is so inaccurate, so deceptive, so manipulative, and enough people have fallen for it to the point where I think we need to reevaluate how we even interact with these types of pieces of media. One key thing I've done over the course of my career on YouTube is offer my counter-arguments to several well-known creators' points of view. While these videos might sometimes get a little intense, the focus is always on arguments they make. I don't think what I do is debunking or a takedown or whatever. I think of it more as peer review. And the focus is always on the art. Now, personally, I think criticism is beneficial. You can learn something from that. If you grow from it, take something away that meaningfully helps you improve, even if it's negative, even if it's hateful. However, over the years, people have taken my criticism of their arguments very personally.
There's many aspects to the Superman story and arc that I, as a fan, would want to see. And I'm a little annoyed that it's potentially just skipping over it. And look...
Are you upset that Lois Lane will figure out who Clark Kent is?
Did I say that, you friggin' disingenuous moron?
That was kind of cancer.
And their responses, they don't address the arguments I make. They don't try to counter what I say, but they just try to tell their audiences, I am not worth listening to. The problem is...
Now, I will say that statement right there. He's not completely wrong, I don't think, on that. Like, there's very little that Remnant actually addressed in this video. A lot of it was just trying to prove that Anthony was a hypocrite because of his own things that he said, right?
That most response videos, unless they have a really good smoking gun, don't actually take creators down. If all it took was one good response video to end a YouTuber's career, we would never hear the name James Charles ever again. But rather, we live in a world where arguably the worst, most inept, most poorly phrased, most poorly thought out call-out video I've ever had made against me has fallen into my lap. And I have thoughts. Remnant777 is a channel that has had explosive growth over the last year, like really explosive. Did someone give his channel a shout out last June or May? Because damn, that's a lot of subs in 1 month. Like, holy shit, that's a lot of people in 1 month. Actually, I figured out why. It has nothing to do with talent or skill. It's because Asmongold reacted to him.
And now, finally, some people are talking about it, which is a relief. I'm glad.
Remnant777 focuses.
So this is a common thing you see amongst different groups, right? And Asmongold can shoot a career up, get you a lot of views, get you a lot of subs in the beginning. But then if you're not entertaining, or if you're not doing, I guess, what is needed, usually it's the entertainment part, then you sit here with like tens of thousands of subscribers, but you're still only pulling low tier stuff. Is that happening with Remnant? I do not know. Let's see here. I mean, this happened with, like, if you know my history, my little shitter history, nobody has spoken, right? Nobody has spoken, got a huge influx. We started around the same time, and he hasn't kept the views going. Like, he still gets around like the same number of viewers on streams that I get. I'm only 160, and he gets like, he doesn't get views anymore, really. And it's just being injected by a larger YouTube doesn't equal success. Remnant. Let's take a look at Remnant here. I mean, he is getting, let's see. he's getting decent views for, well, I guess it considers what you consider decent views. I mean, 87K, 75K, he's a 100K channel. I don't think that's terrible. 75K, that one's got 200K. This must be the one that, or no, one of the ones that Asmongold watched. So he's not doing terribly. He has at least an audience that is watching him now. Obviously, you can see where, let's see, where is the one? This is the one that shot him through the sky, right? No, he was still doing pretty decent before that video. So I don't know that Ant's really saying it. Maybe he did get more subscribers, but he was doing fairly decent. Okay, you see the lower views here. So here's his lower views, and then this video seems to do really well for him. Though I guess there's no telling when he got those. But so that one did really well for him. He's got a couple up here, and then you see where, like, I don't think he's doing bad for the stuff that he got. Right? We'll see what happens in the future.
On anti-woke content, criticizing left-wing ideas and beliefs from a right-wing perspective. But my issue with Remnant is that much of his content is very vibesy focused. He doesn't tend to give concrete definitions or examples, and often results to vague gesturing instead.
The people I've spoken to who make art and they're right wing, it's very polished, it's higher level, or at least not intellectually disabled like this.
I responded to Remnant777's 2 videos about how left-wing art looked mentally ill. His second video of his was a response to people criticizing him for his perspective. The focus of the video...
I see he emphasized the look in that in that part. So we'll see where he goes with it.
Was less Remnant as a person and more the art and how it's discussed. How we talk about art. What qualifies as good art, if there is such a thing, as well as how we criticize art, both from a constructive standpoint and from a less constructive standpoint. My core issues with Remnant's vid can be summed up in short. He doesn't specify what makes art look mentally ill. He does not provide specific examples of artists that we could see, as he claims, remain stagnant and never improve. Remnant doesn't show the names of the artists on screen,
Dominator.
So we can't exactly go and check how old they were when they made the art. Nor can we see if this is a case of a young artist who had to grow into their craft. We're not given any context. That's the problem here. He argues that art has objective beauty and values that should be presented in art only, and if you don't do that, it's bad. And that's something I fundamentally disagree with.
If you're showcasing your art and you're opening up yourself to positive praise, you should also be opening yourself up to criticism. Otherwise, you become delusional.
Foreshadowing is a literary device, and
I caught a live stream he was guesting on, and we discussed the idea of a debate at this time.
But I genuinely want you to at least consider the possibility of having like a live stream conversation with
I'll think about it. No, I'll think about it. I'm still thinking about it and everything. I haven't made a conclusion. I mean, just in general, our audiences, like, we could at least agree on that. Our audiences would like it. That at least, It's just
I'm sure that there's an audience for it. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's like,
I'm sure would like to. Yeah, he just said he could schedule it. Yeah, it could be streamed on your channel and on his. Whatever you guys wanted to do.
I don't really know if I want to deal with all of that again. Is the
really?
issue.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine the super chats. Ant, really? Really? That's what you.
Now, I couldn't come at that time because, I have a kid. I can't just drop everything to hop on Discord. So my intention was to plan something. We can schedule something out. He chose not to do that. Now, I know Remnant has been up for debates in the past because he would frequently debate Alec Gunter, someone he criticized in his original art video specifically.
And don't we all? I feel like that's. I feel like that is like an easy punching bag, Gunther. I'm sure that's just a really easy punching bag going after Gunther.
Watching those debates, I noticed something about Remnant and his style of arguing that illustrated to me maybe the debate wouldn't be all that beneficial at all.
As principal, no, I don't have anything problem with them. No, I love black people.
Okay, so then this was just like, just something that kind of came to your head.
Maybe there's a black person, an admin. I love black people.
Okay, but the N-word behavior thing didn't, it didn't mean anything, right?
What
just
N-word?
like The one, it's not the hard N. It's just, you know, the one that people used to say.
What N word?
The one that used. I'm not saying it, man.
There are a lot.
I don't know what you're trying to show with this, Anth. I don't really care that he was it soft ate him.
A lot of words
Hold
that
on,
start with the letter N.
You're.
Oh, it's not what? Is this what we're doing?
You know,
Hold
just
on.
something that kind of came to your
Black
head.
person-
You know,
in my
maybe you
server,
were.
there's a black person, an admin.
Is he really going on about Negro? Like, really? That's not even that's not even a slur, Anthony. That's just a word. It's not even soft A-ing it. I never fought a kid because I live in a white town with no crime, with kids who had both parents. We are civilized. This is really the cope blacks tell themselves for living in the city they destroyed and made violent. I mean, now that's just a racist statement to be racist. He's trying to be, it's performative racism, just like, it's not even him being racist. It's performative racism, right? He says something that he thinks is shocking enough to get people to look at his tweets, right? And obviously it didn't go anywhere. So whatever, right?
I love black people.
Okay, but you know, the N-word behavior thing didn't, you know, it didn't mean anything, right?
What
It's just
N-word?
like the one. It's
Yeah,
not
I'm
the hard
sorry.
N, it's just,
I'm
you know,
sorry.
the
That one
people
doesn't
used to
bother
say.
me.
What N-word?
The one that used. I'm not saying it, man.
There are a lot of words that start with the letter N.
You are so fucking disingenuous.
It also didn't help that Remnant took down the videos I criticized from his channel. He hid that video from his audience. He hid them. He put them on Rumble. Why? He was afraid it was going to DMCA strike him. How I would DMCA strike him for older videos he uploaded where I used his content is anybody's guess. Who fucking knows what he was thinking? I think the guy's disingenuous. But he also takes great offense if you go through the entire video and...
Hold on. Boom, boom, boom. Never mind, pulled me in. Welcome, British Runner. Welcome. I thought you were going to bed, buddy. What's up?
No, not much. Just I thought, fuck it, I'll come on for a little while and then I'll go to bed.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So far, I'm not impressed with Anthony's video. Remnant saying Negro is not.
I got criticisms on both sides.
Yeah, I agree. I had a lot of criticisms of his Remnant's video.
Why? He's such an upstanding guy. Like, why would you have issues with him?
He just doesn't like that whole video was never actually going over Anthony's critique of his video. And then there's been this thing that I've seen recently where like someone will say something like Remnant was like, I don't believe in doing guilt by association, and then in the next thing he shows, he's doing guilt by association.
I had a conversation with Remnant sort of thing about Anthony, and I was like, I'm just gonna stay out of this because like I'm friendly with the both of you.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like very understanding, and he said that he didn't want to have me be in talk about it because it seemed kind of two-faced. But I disagreed with that. It's just like, no, we can still talk about it. It doesn't have to be two-faced. It would only be two-faced if I was telling Anthony one thing and telling you the other.
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
You can have
that's when it would be
criticisms of both
two-faced.
sides.
You can have a discussion about someone's video on you that you're also friendly with.
True. Well, let's keep going while I got you.
I mean, it'd be like if Nick made a critique of something I wanted to talk about it, someone wanted to talk about it with me. Me wanting to talk about this wouldn't make me two-faced, would it?
Right, yeah. No, it wouldn't make you two-faced. You're just coming on to another channel to talk about the situation.
Well, it wasn't even on his channel. It was just a private discussion.
Oh, so yeah. Then it's definitely not, right? I mean, it wouldn't be either way. What do you think of the real life fake wizard wargamer? I don't know much about him, but it just seems like another anti-woke channel. Nothing seems different about it to me.
Oh, you're on my second channel?
Oh, is that your second? I should have known. I should have known. Yeah, it's. I have to watch more of them.
Prolific with making those voice changes, you know.
Oh yeah, I've heard you're behind the scenes on everything.
Oh yeah. That Artolino business? Yeah, I was in his ear the entire time.
So you told Artolino Noah to tell Deus.
I masterminded the whole downfall. Yes.
I knew it.
No, stop. He's gonna use that. He's gonna use that in the rebuttal later on.
Probably.
Point by point debated, as illustrated when he reacted to this one YouTuber who did just that.
Now that's a really funny term in my opinion, because
Yeah,
it makes
wait,
me sound
what do
like
you
I'm just
wanna-
some sort of
What did you want to ask?
Who, me? Oh, about
Yeah,
Remnant?
you wanted to know my
Yeah.
thoughts.
I wanted
Yeah.
to talk about him, Melissa. We'll talk about him. I was just saying, like, kind of what your opinion of his whole channel was, because so far I've only watched 2 videos of him.
Some topics that are pretty debatable. I thought his leaflet video was really on point.
Okay. I may have to watch that one.
Yeah, I do think, like, you know, he could have done without the whole religious argument. That's, like, a bit unnecessary to include religion in there. Like, oh, you're not supposed to have porn in here. It's just like, well, yeah, but you're also not supposed to be showing porn to minors either. So, you know, that's definitely that's the bigger issue there. Not that it's fucking something to do with religion. You know?
Well, yeah, and I wonder, like, the first video that I watched of his was on the channel, and it was his, like, interview with, was there Strawberry? What's his face's wife? Rev's wife. And, like, the arguments he made there were, like, so absurd. I can't believe that he believes it. So, like, I wonder how much you think he actually believes the arguments he's talking about, because a lot of his stuff was like, we should make.
When I've spoken to him behind the scenes, like, which was only like one call, but like, well, actually no, there's been a couple of calls, but like, this is like a private call. I've only been once. Other times it's been in other people's, like, other servers, VCs, and that was it. I think it was in KX VC, but like, yeah, he's just been very straightforward with me. He hasn't really been, like, disingenuous at all about anything, as far as I can tell. So
okay, I'd like to probably talk to him.
He seems like a chill guy. Seems like a chill guy.
Okay.
Like,
well,
yeah.
I don't know.
But that's just from my personal experience with him. Like,
which seems
obviously I don't
limited.
agree with everything he says in his videos. So
yeah. Okay.
Like, there is one where it's like he's saying that, if memory serves correctly, he says that women are sexist because they have a fear of walking home alone because a guy could jump out the bushes and attack them or something like that. And it's like, well, no, this is born out of, like, sure enough, it's a bit of paranoia. But at the same time, it's because real life stories have happened, like, have come out about women being attacked or harassed as they're walking home at night, you know?
Yeah.
So
here in the States and a lot of college campuses, they've actually put up those emergency buttons for that very reason, right? It's something common. Yeah, like, I got the first video I watched in the Strawberry thing, it's about women being promiscuous. And the whole argument is very Templar-esque, that women should be the ones that don't have sex with men, that we should make it a crime again for women to have sex outside of marriage. He compared it to like crimes as strong as, like, rape or pedophilia kind of things. And that's where, like, it kind of hit me, like, what is this guy talking about? It's the Crusader Avatar. Yeah. It's here. I'll see if I can pull up a clip from it.
Okay.
If you want, you don't have to stay if you don't want to. Let me see. Remnant777. Boop. And I just happened to watch this one video, so I was like, is this guy really just a rage artist? Where was it? Thought.
So what are your thoughts about this video so far?
Like, you can't...
So far, Anthony has led with the typical woke thing to lead with, that he is a grifter. And I'm never one to say that someone, like, I don't believe he's a grifter, Remnant's a grifter. He may very well believe in the things that he's talking about.
Yeah.
And then Anthony is...
It's just that at this point, like, grifter could be just literally placed upon anyone that you think is either being dishonest or, like, you just simply disagree with. It's a very much overused term that can be described for literally anything. Like, it is, I compare it to woke, basically. It's just like, anything can mean woke these days, you know?
Yeah, woke,
it's not,
Nazi,
it's not a niche,
communist.
it's not a niche meaning, it's literally anything. To the point where it's like, it's poisoned the word, basically.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I come through. Where do I lead the transcripts? Let's see if I can find some of it on here.
You would never be self-respecting. I have an issue with that, I feel like.
Well, I think for me personally, like, I do believe the exceptions exist. And, like, especially for a lot of these women, maybe they've had a messed up past and they do genuinely change. I'm very much willing to, like, accept that. And I do think that those exceptions do exist. But I'm very much in favor of trying to minimize them and to keep them as exceptions. I think if we remove this type of mentality of, like, hey, a person with lower self-respect would marry such a woman who has that type of history, who has that baggage, or maybe even a whole set of problems. You don't know about the STDs or the emotional stuff. I do think that is useful and good in itself. Maybe he was being a bit too dogmatic, but I think in general, for the most part, that sentiment is healthy and good, in my opinion.
Okay, I mean, I hear you. I guess, like, what if we took, like, and like literal prostitutes off the table, right? Because I do think that's is a bit different, right, than just someone who's, dated around, like, whether they had sex out of marriage, whether they, just, like, dated a lot of people. Like, if you take that off the table, do you still feel the same way?
I think that there's a lot more nuance to it, for sure. I think that, like, it's not just women sleeping around, it's also men. And, like, I view them equally in the same light as I view it's wrong. And I hope you would too. I don't know where you really stand on a lot of that stuff, but it sounds...
Like, that part I had a problem with because, well, you're saying it's wrong on both sides, so why make an entire video about just women being promiscuous?
I do. I very much think it's wrong.
I do remember you saying that. Yeah, my bad.
Ahead. No,
this is her personal story. What if you're saved?
Well, with what I think with that is, it is a bit more nuanced with the promiscuousness because, especially, how do I put it? It's not just simply a woman thing, it's also a guy thing. And I think that this is my general perspective. And I think it sounds more of like a reasonable one, probably one you would agree with. There are people who do, like, fully save themselves and everything for marriage.
You posted it was definitely, like, in some of the things he said, like when he said that his wife was more pure, I'm not necessarily saying I agree with every single thing he said, but I'm just saying overall, like, in terms of their relationship and, like, her specifically, like, just having a past.
It felt like we got clickbaited. I think we got we've been pinned against each other to fight over something that for nothing burger.
And I guess, like, one of my biggest concerns too, though, that I've seen, and it's not anything that I feel like you've said, but I've seen a lot of people in comments, like, regarding this and just in general over the last couple of days being like, well, a whore is always a whore, and you'll never change, you'll always be a whore. And it's like, that's something I very much think is wrong.
Well,
I would hope that you would agree with that.
Well, I think it's a bit more nuanced. Look, I'm not going to be like, how do I put it? I mean, if you've seen any of my tweets, I'm pretty wild on Twitter.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know, like, anything
about
I'm just like, someone tagged me under your tweet.
I got you. Well, I'm saying that because, how do I put it? If you ever go back, you want to see anything I have ever said, and it's just like, I do call people, like, I don't know if I really called anybody specifically a whore. Maybe I have. I don't know. I'm pretty antagonistic at times on Twitter with all this stuff. But my position, and I would have to give a bit of pushback, but I'm going to do so respectfully, not going to personalize this at all, but I genuinely do think that there is a beneficial thing to that with society. Like, with women who are promiscuous, I think that what is currently happening is they're trying to remove more and more consequences for an objectively immoral lifestyle. If we're just saying promiscuous behavior, or even cheating, in many instances, it really goes unpunished. And I don't believe that's healthy for society. We even had sodomy laws in the past. I think that at the bare minimum, if we can even keep shame, which is, hey, she did sleep around and everything. Look, it's not fun because she did repent, she did change, and we do wish the best for her. But there aren't many other guardrails to help keep women from being promiscuous themselves, other than using the shame, other than saying, well, she was a whore that did sleep around, and it does kind of follow you for the rest of your life. In varying degrees, there's a bit more nuance to that. But I think that, especially with how society is today, I genuinely think that's one of the only real ways we can help to prevent this type of behavior in, like, our daughters or the next generation or people who are growing up, because we don't want this behavior. Other than that, I think a lot of ways we can
yeah. Hold on. I got another one. What's up?
Are you drawing the conclusion that he's comparing it to something like pedophilia because he wants women who sleep around to be called whores and to have it follow them around?
No, like this wasn't the part that I heard. And you know what?
Like, because I say there's a bit of a stretch, like from that point.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the one because there's this part. What if she changed? Oh, here we go. Let me try this. There was one where he was specifically talking about laws, and of course, I can't remember where it was or find it. And they, oh fuck me,
Today's
get back over there.
Deterrents for these things. Even in the Bible, I'm pretty sure we did shame people, even while still having those laws. But like, I understand where you're coming from because there is something that just doesn't feel right about like, hey, if a woman was promiscuous, she did then change her life around, and she seems very genuine. And she's no longer sleeping around. It's very
God, I can't find it.
Like,
I'm gonna have to find it, and I'll send it to you offline. Now, when he's talking about the laws, he's talking about biblical laws, right?
Okay.
So, because he mentions even in the Bible, it was still having those laws. And what were the biblical laws, right? What, you stoned a woman?
Yeah.
To death. So that was one of the things that I came up with.
Also, later on in the video of Anthony's, he says like, "Oh, people like Impleton and Harmful Opinions were watching Remnant's video, taking him word for word, sort of thing, and just like believing it based off of his word, which doesn't really sound like them personally.
Yeah,
or at least it doesn't sound like Himpleton anyway. Like, I haven't watched Harmful Opinions. I've only watched his videos and seen his live streams.
Yeah, I've watched Harmful Opinions, and that doesn't seem like him either. He usually just doesn't take it like
they
word for
both
word.
like when they see something's wrong, sort of thing, they're going to call it out, regardless of how they feel about the person.
Yes, yeah. So that's like
it depends if like they're actually agreeing with the points and all that stuff, right?
Right. So yeah, so this is like my first introduction video to it. Like I said, I'll try and find the clip later and just kind of send it over to you. And also, it was censored, so maybe they didn't say pedophilia, but that's kind of the words I was hearing was like he censored them, so it was either murder, pedophilia, rape, whatever it might have been. So it kind of hit like a sour taste in my mouth because this whole video could have just been people need to stop being promiscuous. I can actually agree with that in a lot of ways, right? It seems over the top, like saying like even in the Bible, I'm pretty sure we did shame people while still having these laws. He does mention wanting laws in the video to deter women from being promiscuous. He only specifically ever talks about women, except for when he mentions that he did that both men and women have this problem, but all of the video is very focused towards women. And I'm not a wokey, I'm a conservative guy, right?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like this is where I'm wondering, like, does he believe in the things that he's saying in these situations, or is it something more to it? Like I said, it doesn't sound like you have a deep relationship with him, obviously.
Oh no, he's like he deleted his account, so like and he hasn't added me as a friend back again, so it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, whatever. All right.
Bit distant, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, but that's fine. Well, thank you for coming on and at least asking a few questions with me for me. I'm gonna get back to this.
Oh, you want me to stick around?
Yeah, if you want to stick around, that's fine, because it's always good to have a different opinion.
You're afraid I'll poke holes in your little theories and all that?
That's right. I'm so afraid that you're gonna poke holes in my theory, and then I'm gonna look like a dumbass on my own show.
You're on the right video.
This is the right video, isn't it? Or did I? YouTube's
forgotten.
No, that's stuff that gets sent to me. All right, here it is.
That's what it is. Just nothing that you actually enjoy yourself watching.
Yeah. That's right. It's not something that I'm into. I like weirdos on the internet. Here, we'll go back a little bit here.
That's your secret guilty pleasure.
Right. It's what videos are gonna be made about me in the future when it all comes out. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. You have a good Father's Day too.
Sized from his channel. He hid that video from his audience. He hid them. He put them on Rumble. Why? He was afraid it was going to DMCA strike him. How I would DMCA strike him for older videos he uploaded where I used his content is anybody's guess. Who fucking knows what he was thinking? I think the guy's disingenuous, but he also takes.
So with this whole part of the video, because I was going to talk about it, like I kind of agree with Anth on this, like not with what Anth's saying. What Anth should say, I believe.
It's an unfounded concern. It is an unfounded concern. Just because Otterly Noah wanted to copyright strike someone doesn't mean necessarily that Anthony is going to follow suit in any of that stuff. Especially with that he took issue with.
And for me, it's even a lower chance that he would do it right after the Otterly Noah stuff, where he caught a lot of criticism.
Oh yeah, there's literally no chance that would ever happen. Like, if he was gonna strike Remnant, I think he would at least let some time pass, you know.
Yeah, right.
Great offense if you go through an entire video and point by point debate it, as illustrated when he reacted to this one YouTuber who did just that.
Now that's a really funny term in my opinion, because it makes me sound like I'm just some sort of butthurt right-winger who hates the term toxic masculinity. But
what is the term?
He's like, what is
Oh
the
no,
term?
not this video. I've seen this video.
So this
Have
is,
you?
Immediately.
Yeah, just pause for a sec.
Yeah.
This video, this guy that Remnant is reacting to is a complete retard. He's just a complete retard. Like he got fucking dunked on by Aiden Paladin.
Oh, okay.
It's like he did. Like, Remnant shows some a source for what he's talking about in the video, and it happens to be from Aiden Paladin's video about this test that was conducted to see who had more empathy, would it be men or women. And what the test was if like they're all playing a game sort of thing, and like the opponent was a cheater, who would have more empathy towards the opposing side, would be men or women. And in the test, apparently the test came back as like women had more empathy for the cheater than the men did. So, and the guy that he's reacting to, Jammies basically ignored that part, skipped over it, and basically wanted to say that Remnant was just a liar and all that stuff in the video, even though he does show the source.
Feelings over facts. Hey, here's the source of what happens, and then you just ignore it.
Yeah, I was sitting there watching it with Kino the other night. I was just like, this guy's fucking stupid. Like, he concedes on points without even fucking realizing it.
I may have to go watch that one now. Yeah. Maybe not on stream, maybe after.
It's ridiculous. He ends up agreeing with Remnant on some points without even like acknowledging it.
It seems like the people who come after Remnant are not the strongest fighters.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, the same could be said about Templar.
Okay, fair.
Well, some people, some. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to get an angry DM later, but.
Yeah, right. I've seen some who've been able to deal well, but it seems like a lot of.
I mean, you've got Internet Adjacent, you've got Otterly Noah.
Oh boy.
Deducting points already. We're like 10 seconds into the video, and he's like, you didn't define what toxic masculinity means in the first 3 seconds of the video.
This pause-Andying whining goes on for 3 more hours. By the way, he took this also down from YouTube because apparently he used too many slurs.
Hold on. The other guy's the one whining here. That you didn't like. I mean, I haven't watched this video, but if the guy who's talking about toxic masculinity didn't define it, am I just getting that wrong?
Yeah, he literally at the beginning of the video he brings up toxic masculinity. Remnant does, and then Jammies pauses and goes, "Well, actually, you haven't defined what it is."
Oh.
And it's just like,
okay.
oh,
That's-
could you like, you know, actually, like, he's asking for a source of what toxic masculinity means.
Mhm.
When it's like, dude, you could just watch the video, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I understand why I call this guy a fucking retard. Like,
Okay.
But you know, at least he's going to offer honest feedback in this response video to me, right? He's not gonna lie or misrepresent information to slander me, right?
I was originally going to do a big Bungie style video on him, where I was going to claim that Anthony was saying that calling minorities the N-word was a competitive sport and how vile that was.
Oh fuck! I shouldn't. I forgot. I made a mistake. I shouldn't put this in so fast. I'm so sorry.
What is this? Okay. Who cares about this? It would be funny if
to be honest,
Big
I just
Bungie
see
made a
this
video.
as him being. I see this as Remnant being hyperbolic. I could see this being a
Yeah.
hyperbolic statement. Like, he's not actually. He didn't actually consider that, or he's just trying to be funny or something like that for his viewers, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's anything. This isn't some big hit. This would go probably really hard.
He
on
doesn't sound like he's
Bungie.
being actually serious. So for
Yeah.
Anthony to just take this at face value is a bit. bleh.
Dishonest. Also, I'll say I watched Remnant's video. I don't know that.
I mean,
he
I
flat
wouldn't
out
say
lied about anything.
dishonest. I don't know if Anthony actually has the opinion that he was being serious, but it just
Yeah.
seems very autistic.
Yeah.
I was trying to pretend he was in good faith the whole time. Here, you know what? Forget you just saw this. Let's just start with the video, shall we? He starts with him in a segment alone in a room. A dark, twisted room with a television set on. The perfect chamber for a chud, I'd imagine, would be recommended by Asmongold. He stares at a TV screen, complaining to himself about a puppet of me. This, once again, seems like the creative process for this film. There's something ironic about a guy saying that the left can't take criticism, and then his immediate next video is a response to the criticism from this video calling his critics mentally ill. There's something very funny about that. You just can't make this shit up.
But you literally just did. You literally just made all of that up.
By the way, I can't place where this puppet is from. I know for a fact there's no footage of me in my response to Remnant that I originally put up because I didn't think Remnant was worth the effort.
What? He did put footage of him.
Yeah, but he's arguing that like he's using like AI, I guess.
Oh
Like,
yeah, because he
he's
does
alluding
use that.
to it to be but at the same time, even if he didn't use AI, there is a certain thing called After Effects.
Yeah,
There is
right.
software where you can actually make those graphics.
True. This is already an argument he
But
made
it's-
the last time about
it's just-
Remnant's. Good.
It's just not really a great argument, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It just looks like he's throwing dirt in Remnant's eyes at this point.
The problem is Remnant
he's
can just
using-
duck.
He like Anthony is literally a Pidgey using sand attack over and over again at this point.
Yeah, because this is the exact same argument
You're
he
not
made in the first
like
video.
you're not gonna win with that attack. You need to use something else.
You have to do an attack that actually hurts, right? Because I don't think that using AI art is like I'm not for it. Sure, I think most AI art is slop, but I don't think that means that he can't criticize art. Right? Is flawed art bad? Blah blah blah.
Effort to even charge my camera.
You should also be opening yourself up to criticism. Otherwise, you become delusional.
There's something ironic about a guy saying that the left can't take criticism, and then his immediate next video is a response to the criticism from this video calling his critics mentally ill. There's something very funny about that. You just can't make this shit up. I also want to draw attention to this poster in the background. Now, I suppose it's supposed to look intimidating or scary or threatening, but I can't help but think of
I can already see this. This is just going to be like a similar video of him actually not talking about Remnant's points, but pulling up small things in the background. I had the same argument about Remnant in some of the areas. Okay.
some dark yaoi when they look at it. I think this is Remnant's fantasy about what he wants to do in the dark with me. The art piece, much like the thumbnail, is
Also, I just do want to
AI
say something. When he says like, "Oh, this is a guy who can't take criticism because he made a video responding to criticism," it's just like, so if anyone ever makes a video responding to criticism, does that necessarily mean that they cannot take criticism? They can't take the heat of it?
Yeah, true. Like
It's
if you're going to say that,
if someone makes a hit piece on me, I'm not allowed to respond to it because it could look like I can't take the criticism that they're dishing out.
That's true. That's what happens. So hit piece
It's so stupid. Such a dumb argument.
You could go into the video and be like, hey, this is where he's not lost my train of thought. You go find points where he's not being, he's being angry, he can't take the criticism because he's of the arguments he's doing.
If you showed him having a crash out about your video, right? Or like he's trying to do malicious actions to try and get the video taken down, like what Noah did.
Yeah.
Then you can make that argument. But here he hasn't really done that.
Yeah, it's just criticism.
Generated, which, considering he just did a whole video about how art on the right wing is so sophisticated and how great an artist he is proof of how lazy Remnant actually is. This introduction leads right to an editor's note.
Does that thumbnail look AI to you?
The one that...
yeah, on first glance, does it look like it is made by AI? Because I've seen loads of thumbnails like that before AI picked up.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just looks like a typical thumbnail.
It just looks like it just looks like the generic thumbnail.
I mean, I could make this thumbnail, cut out a picture of him, find a picture of a trash can. I don't think this one particular.
Throw in some bottles that you find online on the Google Images.
That's right.
And place on another layer on top.
Yeah, and the red and black is so common, it's annoying. Fatigue of drama content. I love my drama content. I'm a slop pig. That's what we enjoy here.
Proof of how lazy Remnant actually is. This introduction leads right to an editor's note, which we'll pause on. We'll come back to that much later when it's relevant. Unfortunately, Remnant does repeat himself frequently, so we are going to have to tighten up some details.
I'm going to start counting how many times Anthony says, isn't it funny, or something similar to that, because I've heard him say it like 3 times now.
If we're here for the entire video, this response be 4 hours long, and God knows I don't want to do that to you. The first relevant criticism is the thumbnail for my original video.
Oh boy. So a few weeks ago, Anthony Gramuglia made a video on me called No, Left-Wing Art is Not Mentally Ill. A response to Remnant777, which is really funny because here he is to debunk the narrative that the left can't take criticism and that they aren't mentally ill. And to prove the left's mental stability, he hired a thumbnail artist to draw himself getting ready to stab me, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't know whose point he's trying to prove with that one.
And no, Remnant, that's not a stabbing motion. Not even close. You see, the thumbnail is actually making...
What? That's 100% a stabbing motion, but it's the same argument that he just made about the video.
Yeah, I'd say it looked like more of a stabbing motion if his arm was raised a bit, like behind his head, sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like then you can see there be clearly the intent, but...
Right, but I think I think a lot of people would see this as some kind of stabbing motion. Now, I don't like Remnant's idea that this is not being able to take criticism is just as bad as Anthony's idea that you can't take criticism, right? It's just a thumbnail. His obviously he gets artists to do it, but it's thumbnails don't make you can't take criticism.
Making fun of the fact you overuse AI art.
It's just like an unnecessary point to respond to.
Yeah.
Like, why even respond to that?
Drawings come out of a factory. They all look the same. They all have the exact same themes, the same color designs, the same misshapen faces, the uncanny look to it. Why is this?
Now, you're all smart enough to realize the irony of a man saying that all leftist art looks like it's made in a factory when he is in fact using AI art to communicate the factory itself. The thumbnail originally pitched to my artist was to have me hand a pencil over to you. You know, kind of the meme of giving the AI artist a pencil so they can actually get started doing real art. However, unfortunately, every time we tried doing this, the text obscured the pencil, and so the best option was to hold it like this. It's not stabbing, but it is a threat of a different variety. You know, the kind that tells you to get good or else. You also
Although
still
you could
can't say
just
my
have
last...
no text.
True. You could have just made the text smaller, or there's a lot of options there.
Yeah, could have just done anything.
Name.
Anthony Gramuglia.
Now, there are many claims that Remnant makes over the course of this early prologue of the video, but I want to hone in on the key points. Don't worry, some of these will come up later that he mentions early on, so we'll get to them.
But the worst part about this whole video is Anthony doesn't even address what I say in the video. Instead, he decided to be one of the biggest lying snakes I've ever encountered, which is a huge claim for me to make. Not only am I stating that he's misrepresenting me, but I'm claiming that he's intentionally lying about me, which requires evidence. It requires me to demonstrate that's the case.
Well, that's a pretty big claim, Remnant. To prove this, he is going to cite evidence from the past, specifically old clips of me from, well, he says multiple videos, but it's primarily just one. My YouTubers are lying to you video, something that was very controversial and made a couple years ago. It's funny how when you take ideas out of context, there's more to it than that. It's funny how when you only include about 5 seconds of a clip, you leave out some key details. Why did you cut the clip that way, by the way, dude? Why didn't you show a little ahead of it, a little after it? What happens if you show a little bit more of the clip?
By the way, wargaming.
This clip.
Mm-hmm.
What's the description?
A description? Full
A
videos are in the
description.
Oh, a description. is I didn't notice that the first time. That's funny.
Clip is going to defeat me.
I think that's Remnant's video too. Full videos are in the description because I'm dyslexic. I never notice anything like that.
Me in my own fight, but I'm sorry, Remnant. By using this clip, you've just created the instrument that undermines everything you're about to say. Some of his early points are kind of more debatable. For example, did he mean the R word when he said mental illness in his video? Well, that's a matter for debate. I think he did. He says he didn't. It's hard to prove if that is or is not the case. However, a point in my favor is that you have mentioned more than once that you can't say certain slurs on YouTube, especially if you title your video after a slur.
I like Remnant, but I agree with you. Calling him slurs makes you lose.
Sorry, like Sensitive Society's titled one of his video, this is retarded. And he hasn't lost anything, to my knowledge.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard, like, through other YouTubers that apparently retard is against, the terms and conditions, but it's used so much, I don't feel like it's ever one that they've...
I mean, I've used it so many times that I get demonetized from it.
Yeah, right. Oh, I do. I mean, if you subscribe to my channel, my little thing that comes down is a clip of a guy saying retard. So maybe I won't even get monetized. This is another thing going back into the slurs though too. Like I don't think most people are going to care if he meant retard or not.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe on the left.
You think that me calling him a slur loses credibility? I don't know about that.
Actually, no, I'm going to go a hot take. I do think he meant retard. Yeah.
He probably did. But does it matter? No.
No, it doesn't matter. The fact that people think it matters is just crazy.
Yeah, it's been like I've heard people are like they're bringing the R word back, and I was like, I don't remember it ever leaving. When did this happen?
Guys, the reason I don't get demonetized on YouTube for saying retard is because I'm autistic. Okay, I have the pass.
Oh. Does ADHD count? Can I use that?
No.
Oh, damn it, because it's the.
I mean, I guess you could say the S slur.
The S slur?
Yeah, it's Spurg.
Spurg. Oh, there you go. Oh, all the slurs. I'm never gonna get monetized, guys. Never.
It's not a matter of if I should, it's if I can. And I can't on YouTube. That's the main problem.
But one thing that is undeniable is this segment right here.
He proceeds to play a few seconds of my video and then cuts me off so he can respond to it before I could finish my thought. The exact same thing he accuses Animus of doing. Why is it that left-wing art looks, frankly, for lack of a better term, mentally ill? It's like these drawings come out of a factory. They all look the same. They all have the exact same themes, the same color designs, the same misshapen faces, the uncanny look to it. Why is this?
Now, you're all smart enough to realize the irony of a man saying that all leftist art looks like it's made in a factory when he is in fact using AI art to communicate the factory itself.
I said in that clip, these drawings, they all look the same. Which drawings exactly? The ones I was showing on screen. Granted, in that isolated clip that you specifically cut out, people can easily walk away with the notion that I'm generalizing all left-wing art.
Remnant's complaint here is that I cut him off and thus omit this section from my video.
And you knew I do not believe that all left-wing art looks like it came from a factory. You purposely cut and misrepresented that point, especially given the facts that I specify my point many times.
Sorry, remind me, does Remnant actually say that he doesn't think all left-wing art is mentally ill?
So he didn't show any clips specifically of him saying it. And I haven't watched the Rumble video because I just found out about this. I watched when Remnant's video came out. I first watched it. He says that multiple times he says in the video that he wasn't talking about all left-wing art. My argument was his video, because one thing he does is he says that Anthony uses is mentally ill versus what he says the title of his video was looks. This is kind of a common theme I'm seeing with him. But if you want to go by his own standard, the video is why does left-wing art look mentally ill? So he is saying all left-wing art in the title at the very least. There may have been one clip, I think, that he did mention communist art. So yeah, he did have one area where he mentioned he liked communist art and he didn't think that was mentally ill.
Yeah, but like when someone says like left-wing art is mentally ill, what does that strike you as?
I mean, if someone just says left-wing art is mentally ill, I usually think all left-wing art on my side.
Yeah,
but
it sounds like you're making a generalization. It's like when I say I think rap music is shit. Am I talking about a single artist or am I talking about in general?
Right. It's you're putting out that very moment.
I can understand where Anthony's coming from on that. Like,
Agreed.
But then again, I don't really think you really need to specify like what are you going? I don't really think you need to actually like. It's a requirement that you need to specify that you're talking about a small niche of left-wing art, or if you're just talking about it in general. Like you could have that opinion that you can have that opinion if you want it.
True. I mean, I can agree, but I can see where other people, especially looking at the video, are going to, think it's more generalized. And obviously he does say in the video that it's particular ones. I don't think there's anything wrong though, making it more specific, like putting modern,
no, of course not,
left-wing art.
Right? I don't really see the issue with saying like left-wing art is mentally ill. Like
true.
Throughout the entire,
because it is, all art is mentally ill.
I mean, like, it's like if I say slop tubers are like retarded, but then I find or I say commentary channels are retarded, like, unless you like say, hey, do you mean every single one? Like, you're not really going to, you're gonna, well, fuck it, I can't remember what I was gonna go with.
You're saying it's not like a cardinal sin. In your video, you can break it down to what you think, because people are going to get an idea in the video of who you're talking about, because you're going to talk about them.
Yeah.
In fact, mere seconds after you purposely paused it, I say this.
Wait, I think you can tell by the examples he gives as well, though, right? There's like furry art and all that stuff, and like
your typical Twitter artist.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
I think
general
you can-
title.
I
If
think
the
you
remnant
can-
was,
I think you can discern from the examples he shows, like.
yeah, and it is a little.
Okay.
Basically, you could say, you know, Anthony didn't in his video mention, like he's saying he's generalizing all left-wing art when obviously Remnant didn't. He mentioned even some left-wing art that he likes. He likes communist propaganda.
Although to be fair, I don't really see the problem with the title. Like, you know, everyone has
I agree.
hyperbolic titles, so.
True. That's just part of YouTube.
Otherwise, I would have to have an issue with Chad Logic if I had to be like, no, the title's bad. That is a bad title. You can't use hyperbolic language in your title.
Fair.
I'm not saying all left-wing art is weird or ugly or mentally ill-looking. No, frankly, the majority of art is dominated by the left. Remember, it's fine when he takes me out of context, just not when other people do it to him.
Now, that would be a serious allegation, Remnant. If I didn't include that clip, or you clarifying, that would be me misrepresenting you, wouldn't it? But I find it funny how you phrased it.
Mere seconds after you purposely paused it, you purposely cut and misrepresented that point.
You never said I didn't include it. At 4 minutes and 18 seconds, I include this.
But before we dive in, I want to clarify. I'm not saying all left-wing art is weird or ugly or mentally ill-looking. No. Frankly, the majority of art is dominated by the left. People who are higher in openness and creativity predominantly tend to be more left-wing.
I included more of your point than you did in your own fucking response to me, you dipshit. Oh, but you said you mentioned it multiple times in the video, right?
That I specify my point many times throughout the entire video. In fact,
well, 26 minutes into my video, I say this.
That's how they view it. The left, any little shit they take on the canvas, that's a piece of art right there. That's why there are so many people just like this online. And again, I'm not saying everybody who's a leftist makes horrible looking art that looks mentally ill like this, but I'm saying that's why there are so many people who have this exact same uncanny, weird art style that looks intellectually stunted, as if a child made it, or an adult that is mentally impaired. That's why we are seeing these things.
You know, it's kind of funny when you say intellectually stunted or mentally impaired. That sounds a lot like a certain R word. You insisted you...
Oh, God, he's just going in the R word. Okay, I thought he was going to go more detail of what... his like first little portion of it, but he's not. He's just focusing on the R word. Because I think that like that first point, Anthony does have a point there. Like he did at some point show it in his video, so it was part of the video.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So L on Remnant for that one.
But this is just like who really gives a shit? This is just like people are just gonna make fun of you for this. Like why even include this? You know?
Yeah, especially the part where like it sounds like a certain word.
Yeah, it just sounds like this is a video for his audience, not a video like responding to Remnant.
Yeah, it's kind of I agree. And I kind of figured it was going to go that way, but I was hoping for a little bit more.
Didn't at all intend on saying.
And I don't know how they make hour-long videos.
I'm trying to subtly hint at the idea that left-wing art is actually... Buddy, I said what I actually meant in the video. That looks intellectually stunted, as if a child made it, or an adult that is mentally impaired.
But let's cut to the shit, shall we? It's funny how when you take ideas out of context, there's more to it.
Oh, what is that, like 4, 5? Oh, well, he's replaying himself. I won't count that.
5 seconds of a clip, you leave out some key details. Why did you cut the clip that way, by the way, dude? Why did you show a little ahead of it, a little after it? What happens if you show a little bit more of the clip? But it's not like Remnant says I ignored his point or anything like that. That would be dishonest.
He completely ignores it, even though I said in the exact same video that I don't believe that at all.
Oh, what do you know? He does. But you're probably thinking, surely he includes a clip later on showing you say that. No, he doesn't. No, he does not actually. In fact, this opening sequence is the most of my footage he actually shows in one complete package. From here on out, it's 5-second clips, 10-second clips taken completely out of context. And I know Remnant's gonna go, well, this clip's 35.
Well, I don't know if they're out of context, but that's true. There wasn't a lot of Anthony's video that was shown. A lot of it was kind of similar to what Anthony's doing now, where he was focusing on other things, like around Anthony's hypocrisy.
Yeah.
5 seconds. Well, the concept is the same. As we'll see, they're all taken out of context. Now, in these edited response videos, I often trim points down that I don't have meaningful commentary to add to. Now, for Remnant, the fact I didn't include every segment of his original video rubbed him the wrong way. He didn't like that I didn't include every segment of his video in this edited down specific response video.
He even intentionally left out the part of the video where I said I had a left-wing artist who helps me to drastically improve. In fact, one of the people who taught me.
I heard him say that for the first time, and the first thing that I thought was, I have a black friend. I have a left-wing artist, so, you know.
Who was able to get my art to look better from this to this was a leftist. She was a radical feminist, and she's way more skilled than me. At least if she still does art. I don't know if she does. But specifically in the video, I was trying to target and look at one specific type of style, which is this weird, uncanny type of style. I wasn't addressing modern art nor Soviet art, because one, Soviet art, it's beautiful. I love it. Modern art, everybody's talked about that. Why didn't you include that part into the video, Anthony?
Well, Remnant, if you watched my video, you would see why I said that. That clip was from your second video, the commentary response one. Now, I really don't care about him being rage bait or some shit like that. I'm gonna really hone in on the stuff that I think are worth discussing to see his response to feedback. I think that enriches his original argument quite a bit, and I think illustrates just why it's worth poking further at this. I deliberately said at the beginning I wasn't going to cover all that because it's a separate video with a separate statement from the original one. Therefore, it has nothing to do with the thesis you originally said. You're clarifying after the fact.
I didn't even say that quote-unquote left-wing art is mentally ill. That wasn't the core premise of the video.
Then I think you forgot your core premise when you got to this part, didn't you?
The left, any little shit they take on the canvas, that's a piece of art right there. We aren't even 1 minute into the video, and he's talking about things that have nothing to do with what I'm saying.
Minor point, but the clips we're talking about start at 1 minute 30 seconds. You can't even tell the truth about the time in the video, you dumbass.
I don't know that it's him not telling the truth.
It's an
I have noticed.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, me and Remnant had this conversation where we both think it's retarded that people just immediately assume you're lying when it could be that you just got something wrong.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and that's
like, like with lying, there has to be a certain intent there. Like with getting something wrong, there is no such intent. It's just that you got information wrong.
Right. It's
like
obviously he got information.
With lying, you're purposely trying to mislead people into believing this or that by giving them false information.
You mean like trying to tell somebody that the Twitter artist is at fault for a DMCA strike, and that she just doesn't know?
Well, he never specifically said that. He just implied it.
Touche.
Let's be real.
Now, I could just stop here, couldn't I? That's your core premise, the thing you repeat throughout this entire video, and you lied about it.
He's purposely misrepresenting the core arguments of my video. The video is titled, Why Left-Wing Art Looks Mentally Ill. What does Anthony say?
The core of this thesis is in the title. Remnant777 believes that leftist art is demonstrably mentally ill.
Anthony, can you not read? Forget media literacy. You're struggling with basic English comprehension.
Interesting claim, but you cut out a part a few seconds earlier, didn't you? The subject of today's discussion is YouTube video essayist Remnant777 and his video, Why Left-Wing Art Looks So Mentally Ill, as well as his response to some of his critics in regards to this video. The core of this thesis is in the title. Remnant777 believes that leftist art is demonstrably mentally ill, which is to say, it breaks from the traditionally accepted form that is accepted in artistic circles. So Remnant, not only did you cut out me saying your title correctly, you also cut me out saying, I don't believe you actually think it's mentally ill. I'm just saying you think it breaks from conventions. So my core statement is you think left-wing art breaks from traditional conventions in art. But I guess one thing is true. I said demonstrably, right? As in you demonstrate and prove your point. I guess that was thinking too highly of you because you fail to prove your point. And I know you fail to prove your point because you ignore 30 minutes of this video. That's right. You got mad at me for cutting out minor redundant points. You got mad at me for having commentary between your sentences. And yet you ignore the vast majority of my arguments because you have no counter argument, because the core of my thesis.
Okay, that's getting a little gay. He's
it's literally the syndrome meme.
Yeah, it literally is. I mean, I disagreed with Remnant going over like the wordplay stuff that you see all the time. Well, that's not what I said. What I said was, this, and I was like, we're getting at the like you're nitpicking him to try and disagree with this artist. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know what was actually said. I was kind of hoping he would show a clip at least. That was a little bit longer. Hopefully he still will. But I've noticed a pattern, at least with these two, that we don't get a lot of clips.
is that you think that leftist art breaks from traditional form. Remnant777 believes that leftist art is demonstrably mentally ill, which is to say, it breaks from the traditionally accepted form that is accepted in artistic circles, that being composition, lighting, anatomy, etc. However, in doing so, Remnant777 exposes a great weakness of his, and indeed most right-wing critics who attacked leftist art, in that he really can't explain what's wrong with the art he says is so terrible. You misrepresent my thesis to argue I misrepresent yours, claiming I said you think one thing by cutting what I say out of context. You couldn't even watch 5 minutes of my video without getting a multitude of things wrong. But why does Remnant do this? Well, ironically, he tells us why right here.
On a serious note, why did Anthony do this? Well, according to Anthony, he's already told us why, when he talked about dishonest and bad faith media criticism.
Bad media criticism's ultimate goal, though, is to supplant the original media in your mind. And the way they do that is by sometimes just making shit up.
Before I even had the chance to say anything in his video, he already intentionally replaced my core message of the video from why left-wing art looks mentally ill to making the claim that I'm saying left-wing art is mentally ill. Not only did he supplant the core premise of my video, but he exaggerated it to the point and said that I'm claiming all left-wing art is this way. He changed it from I'm talking about something I see within the left-wing art community, how and why I think left-wing art looks mentally ill, and changed my claim to I think all left-wing art is mentally ill, which is an absolute lie.
Just like how what you're saying right now is a lie. And you know you can get away with it because your audience won't watch me. Oddly enough, when this video dropped, multiple commentary channels that Remnant later references in the video all dropped live streams reacting to his video. I didn't watch any, so I can't tell you what they
okay.
A-Space? Like, where did Remnant talk about A-Space?
Right? I know he brings up Pickers once.
I think he brings up Himpleton once.
Yeah, he brings up Himpleton once.
Like he uses what's his face? Harmful opinions as a direct source for something.
He uses harmful opinions a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. Like one YouTuber.
Yeah, this just feels like look at all these drama tubers that watched his video.
I mean, you're literally just giving them exposure at this point.
Yeah, right.
Talk about or what's discussed.
What's the point?
However, the sentiment I heard from them was that they focus entirely on what Remnant said, taking his word entirely on that matter. Remnant's goal was to offer a substitute. So
but hold on, I thought you said you didn't watch them. Hold on. Whoops, that was way too far.
Exaggerated it to the point and said that I'm claiming all left-wing art is this way. He changed it from I'm talking to think all left-wing
away with it because your audience won't watch me. Oddly enough, when this video dropped, multiple commentary channels that Remnant later references in the video all dropped live streams reacting to his video. I didn't watch any, so I can't tell you what they talk about or what's discussed. However, the sentiment I heard from them was that they focus entirely on what Remnant said, taking his word entirely on that matter. Remnant's goal was to offer a
He didn't watch him. He didn't watch him,
but he got the sentiment that no.
Yeah, like really? Like how do you know what they said?
That's a fucking paradox, that is.
Yeah, that's
that is literally a paradox. Like you must have I mean we're nitpicking here, but like you had to have watched parts of the live stream in order to get the consensus.
Right, you had to do something. Like it's not just vibes. I slept and felt like.
Substitute, so you don't watch my commentary, but instead watch his commentary. Right down to him telling you what my thesis is by cutting out the part where I give my thesis. This is the greater danger I think we need to talk about. How people just take commentary videos that any jackass can make and take it at face value.
So basically, both videos are who took who out of context.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's kind of coming down to that. Like, I don't know that I need to watch the full hour to get this. It's both people taking people out of context, and now Anth is like saying that there's a larger problem with the commentary community. Like, we haven't heard that over and over and over again from people who don't like the commentary community.
Well, what's the problem then?
Cutting anything out, assuming that they're not lying.
What's the problem?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see what the problem is. Like, what's the problem with the commentary community that they have done? Because they watched his video? I mean, I guess it'd be one thing if they weren't giving their own opinions, if you could prove they're not giving their own opinions of it, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily one-sided. Are we sure that none of them went and watched the other video? Maybe they didn't watch it on stream, but maybe they did watch the other video. I don't know. I'm getting too into the weeds on it, but it doesn't seem like it's a problem.
Doesn't sound like dickers that wouldn't he wouldn't watch. He would only watch one side. He seems to be the type of person that would watch both sides to get the full picture.
Yeah, exactly. And then he would criticize Remnant where Remnant needs to be criticized, right?
He would give credit where credit is due, basically.
Yeah.
Things, especially as they explore other elements in other videos that they do not cite, so you can't cross-reference to see if what they're saying is true or not.
We're not
Because trust me,
citing!
Remnant does not just stop at this video, but instead also starts cross-referencing others.
What other evidence do we have, though, to suggest that this is intentional manipulation in line? He has gone on record to accuse other people of lying and misrepresenting the things he says, forgetting the tiniest details wrong. Oh wait, did I say wrong there? I actually meant to say people quoting him word for word, and he simply misremembers what he said, and then accuses them of lying. That's how bad this is. For example, Anthony one time made a video claiming that a lot of people only like Godzilla right now, because it's doing better than Disney. And then when Animus quoted him on this, Anthony got upset and accused Animus of lying and misrepresenting his point, and claims that he wasn't talking about people in general, he was only talking about a specific group of them, being those within the culture war, despite the fact that he did not specify that.
He goes on to say people only talk about Godzilla in reference and comparison to Disney.
Okay, first off, huge misrepresentation of what I said. I said specific people involved in the culture war only reference Godzilla in reference to Disney, not people in general. So right there, you're already lying about my video and my argument.
Is that the only way they know how to talk about Godzilla is by drawing a connection to Disney. Because when it comes down to it, a lot of folks love Godzilla right now for one reason, especially in the culture war. It's doing better than Disney.
Unfortunately, Gramulia seems to have this weird notion that post hoc rewordings expunge previous statements.
That's how strict he is with other people. Anthony will twist his own words after he says them, and then claim you're lying about what he said. This is how nitpicky Anthony is to detail.
This quick little rundown right here contains so many...
You're both pretty nitpicky.
Yeah, I'll say that, like, while I was watching that clip, he later pretty much does the same thing, like nitpicking looks. Well, in the beginning he does it. I feel like this is like one person standing in front of a mirror yelling back and forth at himself with different arguments. It's odd how alike they are.
Accuracies, I'm gonna have to break it down very slowly. Let's start with the first. Where is the footage of me responding to the Animus coming from? If you notice, the footage looks grainier, not like my usual camera footage. It's almost like Remnant is hiding something. Oh wait, that's right, he is. The live stream I'm showing right now involved me reacting to the Animus's video. However, I think that Remnant is cutting out elements from this as well. If Remnant rewinded my original video a minute earlier, he would know.
like you should know.
Yeah. What do you? No one knows.
No, this is talking not about Godzilla fans in general, but specific people who specifically are pitting Godzilla -1 and Godzilla X Kong without understanding the basics of Godzilla lore.
As is the case with any successful film, Godzilla -1 has brought a lot of new fans to the fold, and while some are eager to just digest Godzilla history and get involved with the whole history of this beloved character, a lot of them have started to trash the upcoming American Godzilla film, Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. They're upset that Godzilla is running, even though Godzilla has historically done things like blow himself across a field with his atomic breath or drop kick someone by defying gravity itself. But you know this if you watch the film. A few posts I've even seen say that they're concerned that Godzilla is becoming
trash.
MCU.
Huh?
Looks trash.
Yeah, I'm kicking you out.
Not enough CGI in there.
Oh yeah, not enough CGI. It doesn't look like they used AI in that.
Yeah, you gotta be with the modern times, eh?
I hate to tell you, but the original Godzilla movies is when media peaked. It's all been downhill from there.
Fears of the
whatever you say, mate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just the truth. I can't tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
I think you gaslight me, mate.
What are you talking about? It's monsters destroying buildings. You can't go wrong with that. Everybody loves that.
I'd be very careful about that if I were you. Monsters destroying buildings, like, oh.
Is that
I can think about another organization of monsters that want to destroy buildings, right?
Oh no, guild by association.
Another group. Mm-hmm.
Another group. Another.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
He's been teaming up with other monsters since 1965. From this, you can draw two conclusions. One being, these people have no idea what Godzilla is about and just have to learn, which is the optimistic answer. But the other option, and the one I find more interesting to discuss, is that the only way they know how to talk about Godzilla is by drawing a connection to Disney.
a very specific subcategory of people, and then I compare it to the culture war. And even then, I don't even say that's what I think. I give 2 options as to what conclusions you might draw from this situation. Not that either of them are true, but I just want to discuss these 2 options. So on every...
Yeah, but generally when people are giving 2 options, they have the option that they know their audience is going to go for, and then the, like, I wouldn't say less insane, but I guess the more plausible option for it.
Every level, this is wrong. Hell, you didn't even use the right clip. The clip you used, that's not what I'm responding to in the stream. I'm responding to a point later on in the video that C-Animus admits he didn't even watch.
So when we see tweets from people who claim that Godzilla doesn't have a message, we need to appreciate these messages for what they're actually saying. These folks don't care about politics in how the state is run, or the dichotomy between the rich and the poor. They are not talking about the have and have-nots. They're talking about whether or not women,
nice.
black people, and gay people are visible in their media.
Yeah, so that's the thing right there. That's the point of the message right there. Now, how did he frame that? Let's take a look at that again and see how he frames this.
Just in Godzilla's history.
And any point he was trying to make. I'll come back to these in a second, but I want to move on first.
Let's look at his context.
All right, well, game man, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, you're fine. I'm got 30 minutes left on stream. Thank you for coming out and answering questions and watching this slop with me.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, later.
All right, see ya.
He goes on to say people only talk about Godzilla in reference and comparison to Disney.
Okay, first off, huge misrepresentation of what I said. I said specific people involved in the culture war only reference Godzilla in reference to Disney, not people in general. So right there, you're already lying about my video and my argument. But let's see what else you have to say.
They don't seem to have any interest in Godzilla's history. And honestly, that diminishes the merits of Godzilla -1. It shows they don't really care about the media and what it represents. That they don't care about the message, they don't care about the effects, the acting, the writing. Just what it serves in their greater culture war against Disney.
But then he talks about Captain Marvel and how people only didn't like that film because of politics?
In 2019, Captain Marvel came out.
Ah, you skipped a few bits there. You skipped a few connective tissues there. You skipped how I said it. I know this is how the case because it's happened before, and cite the Alita situation with that comparison.
And a lot of culture warriors pitted it against Alita Battle Angel. Alita was how you did a cool, powerful female lead, whereas Captain Marvel was feminist and woke, and the agenda, and da-da-da-da.
So I can see how you missed a few details there, buddy. To summarize this, Remnant, you took a live stream where I reacted to someone reacting to my original video, where they didn't finish the video, took a clip of me responding to another part of the video, spliced that with a different clip from the video, and then had C-Animus react to the other clip, even though none of them were connected. All 3 clips you showed were from different points in the video. Not a single thing you showed had any actual connection in the original stream. But because Remnant cut them all together, you may think they're all the exact same shot, the exact same moment. Me responding to a criticism of that particular...
That's I think is a little bit more interesting of a take. Like, I wonder what Remnant would say about that if he's showing it from 3 different clips. Like that could be more of Remnant being dishonest on his side if he's doing clipping from like multiple videos to make it equal out to what he said, Gramuglia said.
Particular moment when in reality it is not.
And guess what? I can be extremely charitable to Anthony and still prove he's lying. Even if we granted the idea that you were unintentionally misrepresenting the core premise of my entire video in the first 30 seconds. You simply conflated the idea that left-wing art looks mentally ill with left-wing art is mentally ill. Let's grant you made that mistake by accident. You're still a liar, Anthony, because there's no excuse for you to say that I'm claiming all left-wing art is mentally ill, despite the fact that I said numerous times that I don't believe all left-wing art is a certain way. You have absolutely no excuses for this.
Again, the same lie, repeated. Do you see the problem with Remnant's style? He repeats things over and over again, and he thinks by repeating them, that makes it more true. However, once you see the truth, once you see the fault line in his logic, it just sounds like him desperately flailing, trying to convince you he has a point, that his enemies are all out to get him, as opposed to the reality that he is a pathetic small little man who has to keep lying to hide the fact.
This is literally just like these 2 people are just pointing in a room, calling each other liars.
He doesn't have a counter-argument. Honest criticism requires honest thought, and that doesn't always culminate in a dopamine hit to the audience. What they want is that dopamine hit 30 seconds in to continue watching.
This makes perfect sense. Anthony exaggerated and misrepresented my entire premise of the video in the first 30 seconds to give that dopamine hit to the audience. It makes it much more engaging.
Remnant, I don't mention you in the first 30 seconds of my video. Want proof? Hear the first 30 seconds. Right
Okay.
What is good art? Expressive, perhaps? Emotionally...
Yeah, you're being nitpicky again about what he said. He's talking about the beginning somewhere in the beginning. Like 30 seconds isn't that important. The amount of time isn't that important. He's saying that you misrepresented him at the beginning of the video, just like you said he's misrepresenting you or lying about you. Like y'all are calling you're lying each other. Like we're nitpicking the 30 seconds here.
Resonant, something powerful that sticks with you. But is good art merely the style, the technique you incorporate? Or is it something deeper, something that enriches the soul? And can you look at something and go, yeah, that art kind of sucks. That art looks unfinished, but they can do this to improve. Is there such a thing as objectively good art? Well, if YouTube's to be believed, then hell yeah there is. For the sake of concision, I'm going to cut out whenever Remnant complains about me changing his thesis, when we can all prove that's not true. Remnant then shows some weird Wojak AI animation thing, which ironically plays into something I do actually talk about in my video that you neglect to mention.
But before we dive in, I want to clarify. I'm not saying all left-wing art is weird or ugly or mentally ill-looking. No, frankly, the majority of art is dominated by the left. People who are higher in openness and creativity predominantly tend to be more left-wing. But I noticed something. For the mass abundance of left-wing art that looks disabled, frankly, I haven't seen that in the right. I haven't seen this large amount of weird art that's almost childlike looking come from the right.
There's a lot to unpack here. First off, how do you define weird art? You're not really specific in how you exactly detail that. But for that matter, you haven't seen a lot of weird art from the right. Well, allow me to help you out. These are Pepe memes. These are Wojaks. These are extremely common among the right. They're actually very frequently used among the right, as well as these lazy AI drawings that are done in the Ghibli style. All of this is indicative of right-wing art, and all of it is stolen. It is reappropriated. It is mimetic.
But
the reason why you don't see too many quote-unquote weird artists from the right is that most of the quote-unquote weird artists who produce that kind of art aren't actually making the art themselves, but taking something that was made by someone else and claiming it as their own. In other words, it's a cowardly approach, at least with these unfinished drawings.
Okay, that's not... Oh, let me pull this together. Like this isn't the argument that you think it is, right? He's specifically talking about the childlike art and the things like that. You're going into the art is stolen AI bad because that probably sounds really fucking good to your audience, right? But that's not even going into the argument that he was saying, like what makes it seem weird. And in showing the AI art versus like the Pepe memes and stuff like that, I don't know that I consider that what you would consider like right-wing art, right? It's memes and shit like that are made simply. The fucking left makes memes and shit like that too. Sometimes they get taken over by the right and then used for other stuff. I don't know that we would call that the same thing as what you're trying to describe as art, right? Why not pull out a deviant art of a right-wing guy, or a lot of the art that he's shown where it's usually something more attempting to look masculine. A lot of themes around Templars and knights and other things like this.
Drawings, you can make the argument that they at least put their names behind it, that they're willing to stand behind their art, even if it is unfinished, even if it is a learning experience. With the right, it's very often taking something else that someone else made and claiming it as your own. I mean,
yeah, and I don't think this is a right thing. This is a fucking internet thing. Like, it's people on the left are doing this too. It's just not the left artists that you're thinking of, right? This happens all over the place.
I have as much evidence for that claim as you have for yours, so who can say who's right?
Take two, the SmashJT video that was made, right?
Huh. Who would have thought he'd give me evidence for my claim? Huh. Thanks, Remnant, for proving my point correct. Remnant then repeats a point from the video I actually respond to, but chooses to ignore my response to it. That is the coward's approach again, but I digress.
And I try to make that abundantly clear in the video. I think I did a pretty good job at it.
If you did such a good job at it, why'd you ignore all my feedback on it? You know, like, if it's so good, respond to the actual points I make.
All of this points to a problem, though, Anthony. You literally built your career on YouTube off the idea that you're qualified to teach people on what good media criticism looks like, and also how to spot grifters, how to spot bad faith actors. Yet you intentionally make such egregious elementary mistakes to misrepresent me. This means you are not qualified to talk about these things. After this point in everything that you've done on YouTube, you shouldn't be giving any media criticism at all. Just stop. This is not your niche. You have done a disgusting job here.
And this is why I am needed. Any jackass can go online and say, you're doing a bad job, stop. But it takes someone with actual skill to take the specific evidence, compile it, and present it. Tell me, audience, who so far is making a better argument, Remnant or me? I'll let you...
Neither of you.
Decide.
But wait a minute, let's look at some real criticism he has for me in the video.
Remnant doesn't show the names of the artists on screen, so we can't exactly go and check how old they were when they made the art.
Just did. That pride picture is by... Thank you. That pride picture is by Mincha Draws. They don't list any mental illnesses. It was a person sharing it who did that. But this person lists their age, and they are 20 years old. The post was made last year, so they were either 19 or 20 when they did it. Is that too young? If you reverse image search it, you can find the artists. You absolutely can go check. It's just not true that you can't check.
Oh, right. I forgot.
True.
I get to rip you a new one too now. Say hello to Harmful Opinions, ladies and gentlemen, who seems to have missed the point of everything I just said. First off, in the video, I do reverse image search multiple images that he provides. That's not the point. The point is, you shouldn't have to reverse image search that. Anyone knows you can reverse image search it. The problem is Remnant did not provide the evidence himself. That is why it's a criticism of his video. Saying you could do your own homework does not actually make the original video any better. In fact, it makes it worse, because now people have to fucking fact check him. Further, the criticism was not that he was too young. We didn't know the level of experience or age. I noticed you cut half of the clip out there, buddy. Allow me to put it back in place for you.
I thought about it for a long time and examined these drawings to figure out why they have that common style or theme to it, and to figure out what causes this. And I came to some interesting realizations.
It's not hard to criticize this art. It's flat colors, it's very, very bright, maybe a little contrasting in terms of design, it's unclear what the eye should be drawn to, things are kind of roughly sketched out. Remnant doesn't show the names of the artists on screen, so we can't exactly go and check how old they were when they made the art. Nor can we see if this is a case of a young artist who had to grow into their craft.
Okay, but like your thing is like we can't go and check, but you can go and check. You, Anthony, could have gone and checked and said, well, this art, you know, they shown him that like, hey, these artists or all of the artists you've shown are either like new artists or not, you know, they're young and they're still learning their craft. That's something you could have done, but you didn't. And Harmful Opinions went and did it. He's like, you can, here it is. This is the 30-year-old guy. Maybe not the comment about, you know, are they too young and things like that. But like your argument is that these are bad because of experience versus like you could have went and found that experience.
We're not given any context. That's the problem here. It sounds like they must be a delay over there in Harmful Opinion world, because he's actually responding to a point I made before this one. A little late, buddy, but I guess better late than never. By the way, 19, still a teenager. So yeah, I was right. Now, is that to say that the art he shows is good? Well, I'd argue
Jesus Christ. No, it doesn't. Like, there's some people that can draw really fucking well as a 19-year-old. So I know some younger than that they can draw really fucking well. Like you could have stuck to the experience, but I don't know how age would have brought anything.
Not
to
at all. It looks like there could be a lot of things can be improved upon it. However, he's also highly selective of which pieces he's choosing, because I'm pretty sure these are made by actual teenagers or middle school students. Oh, and by the way, guess what clip follows this one?
But before we dive in, I want to clarify. I'm not saying all left-wing art is weird or ugly or mentally ill-looking.
However,
why do you keep showing the same stuff?
What do you know? It looks like she got better over time, which proves my point, doesn't it? If you provided the name of the artist originally, you can show demonstrable growth in the artist's skill level, which, by the way, proves Remnant wrong once fucking again, where he argued that the artists can never improve.
But the reason why we see this abundance of shitty art coming from the left is because they don't have self-awareness. It's tied into their philosophy. They don't believe that there's good or bad art. They believe there are preferences, but you cannot objectively say one piece of art is good or bad, or one is better than the other. You can't. It's subjective, meaning they don't have any shame for what they create. They can't look at it and say, this looks like hot garbage. I don't want to show people what I made. Their little doodle, according to their own philosophy, is not any better or worse than Michelangelo's paintings. You can't say that. You can say he's more skilled, you can say the drawings took more time or they're longer, but you can't say objectively any of those things make his paintings any better. That's the philosophy we're working with, and that kills motivation and growth. Yep, that was a clip from Harmful Opinions reacting to Anthony's video. He was able to confirm it wasn't a child's drawing in about 2 minutes.
Oh, and by the way, one more thing, you dumbass. This wasn't 1 year ago, it was over 2 years ago, which means she could have been 18 or 17.
Okay, we're nitpicking again.
Else as well that makes it all the worse for you guys. Did you read the tweet? It's time for free profile pictures again. Do you notice that this was not posted during Pride Month of 2024? That means this post on Twitter is an example of a previous commission from the previous Pride Month, or maybe the Pride Month before that. So that makes her between the ages of 17 or 15 potentially.
Why are we arguing the age of this fucking child? Like, I feel like there would be better arguments on his subjective side. Like, he's not really showing where the left is showing any of these ideas of like all art is so subjective you can't criticize one being better than the other. It's like all the way. It's like saying that everything is God, I lost my train of thought again. Fuck me. It's like an absolute, like they're saying it's so objective that the Sonichu is equal to the Michelangelo's fucking Sistine Chapels. But that's that you could argue that that's an over, clarification. That's not how it is. Of course, people are going to draw differences to that. What subjective is being subjective of different styles of art, right? You can there's not, like, we're trying to go with there's not objectively good art. kind of deal. Like everyone can have a different opinion on what they think is better. When you're going to get into those more detailed older arts, you're going to compare those different art styles of different artists in there and decide which one you think is better, right? You could say Picasso. My wife just did Picasso paintings are simpler and childlike, so that they're worse than Michelangelo's work, right? That's a subjective feel where someone else could say something different. Like that's the argument you should be making, not the age of this artist and how they improved later. I don't fucking care.
Eventually, for when she made this art, because let's assume it's in the last 2 years before this post, that means she was a kid when making this. Harmful opinions, next time you research something, do not rely on AI because it does not share the entire picture. I would assume you'd know that since you've been doing this for so long, but I guess I was overestimating your skill level. Basic math might elude you, man, but maybe next time, don't be a dumbass in so many different ways in 30 seconds. Thank you, Harmful Opinions, for shooting your friend in the foot. And no, in case you were curious, this is not the last time.
He's so angry at Harmful. What the fuck? What did Harmful do to him?
Opinions makes an ass of himself in this video. Remnant then decides to cover up the time he falsely attributed art to Alec Gunter when it was one of Alec Gunter's mods. Due to this mistake, he keeps fumbling and fumbling and fumbling, but the excuses he comes up with are so incoherent and so difficult to follow, I can't even debunk them because I'm not even sure what fucking point he's trying to make. So let's just skip that and get to the more obvious falsehoods he spreads. By the way, according to Remnant, he started with the first 30 seconds of my vid.
Anthony exaggerated and misrepresented my entire premise of the video in the first 30 seconds to give that dopamine hit to the audience.
And skipped to 30 minutes later to talk about this point. Therefore, he confirms himself he skipped over the vast majority of my video to get to the easy points he could fight and still couldn't make a cohesive argument.
How would he know that the easy points to fight are in the 30 minutes part? I mean, I believe he watched the video and, you know, he may have missaid it's within the first 30 seconds because he was talking about your point. But like the 30 seconds thing is just a nitpick.
Yet instead of acknowledging how any of this addresses your previous point about age, you shifted the goalposts. You swapped the goalposts from we don't know what their age is and that's a problem to we don't know if these are art students. And to say these things about art students makes me a big meanie bully, plus something about bad media criticism.
Sorry, what the fuck are you talking about? Keep in mind, he went from Alec Gunter, who's discussed 30 minutes into the video, to talking about art students, a point I briefly mentioned, in the start of the video, right here specifically. What these two things have to do with each other is anybody's guess, but Remnant seems really hung up on me mentioning art students.
Yet ironically, mere minutes later, he goes out of his way to critique one of the most infamous art students of all time.
A few minutes after that, that's 37 minutes into my video. That's another, like, you know what? No.
This is also just a fucking nitpick.
You know what? I'm gonna let you cook. Go ahead. Here's a picture of a building's side, right? You see that stair leading up, door, all that? Everything is misaligned. The entire house makes no sense. Who is this stupid artist who drew this? Oh, that's my point. Right.
He was a student, Anthony. He was a student. I can't believe he did Hitler so fucking dirty. We never know how good Hitler could have gotten at art. All right, he was disadvantaged by the system.
What's funny is right after he says, what if they're art students? He instantly turns around to nitpick and criticize one of the most infamous art students of all time.
Remnant and Harmful Opinions, both cooking the same recipe. But there's just, one key instrumental problem with that. What was the context of this clip?
And a lot of people say that I have a bias towards realism or semi-realism, and all the bad art I use is simply stylized cartoons. One, these aren't stylized. There's a difference between bad art and style. A person who is very skilled, who can draw very realistic art, but they choose to draw cartoons, that is style. It's a choice. But the people who cannot be realistic, and they simply draw cartoons because that's the best they can do, that's not a choice. That's not a style. They have the inability to make great art. And you can tell because the images I used, they weren't simply cartoons. Their faces, the proportions, the structures of the drawing, they were all off. Anybody who actually does art can tell there's a difference between very bad art and someone drawing cartoons. There's a clear difference here. One is intentional, the other one doesn't know what they're doing. And those were the examples I used in the video.
What about the cubist art from Picasso you showed then? That was clearly made by an artist who demonstrated that he understood how to draw human anatomy properly and chose to be a certain way. See, that's the problem here, isn't it? You thought we'd only think about the specific artwork you showed, but you showed other art too, from artists who demonstrably actually know what they're doing. Also, what about those anatomy sketches?
Sure.
How is that bad art?
And also drawing and displaying realistic art shows, hey, if I draw anything else, it's a choice. I already got to this high level of realism. It's at the end of the day, a proof that you can create real, amazing art. That's what it is at the end of the day.
I don't think you actually understand what good art is. I'm gonna give you an example. Here's a picture of a building's side, right? You see that stair leading up, door, all that? Yeah, looks pretty realistic at first glance, right? Now, someone else examined this art from this artist who I'm sure isn't important at all, and decided to look at the angles at which the windows were facing. Do you notice how all the windows and doors and everything are angled incorrectly? If it was particularly from a realistic perspective by someone who knew what they were doing, they would angle all of the image so it kind of had a focal point, so it was aligned properly, yet it isn't. Everything is misaligned. The entire house makes no sense. Who is this stupid artist who drew this? Oh, that's my point. Right, right. Yeah, sometimes just worshiping realism isn't enough. You might think, oh, well, my art is realistic. But when you actually look at the art...
Okay, okay. That does seems like it was a little clipped out of context. I can give Anthony that, right? There's more to it. He wasn't just going with the, oh, it's Hitler vibes. He was basically saying, like, yeah, there's... Art can be a variety of different things. It doesn't have to be this perfect aligned system. Okay, okay.
Scrutinize it. You realize that a lot of detail is hiding how poorly made the art is. So yeah, it has nothing to do with art students. Who'd have thought? Completely misrepresenting my point to disprove it, despite nothing about it even correlating to it. It's really sad when just playing the original video debunks your entire effort. Though I gotta ask, what did this smug asshole with harmful opinions do to be dragged into this bullshit? He has to be doing better things. I mean, his channel is, Oh, now I get it. Oh,
really?
Oh, yeah,
Really? Jesus Christ.
that channel's dead. Fuck, man. Ironically, I talk about beginner artists right after this point. And what was I saying right before this, actually? What was the lead into this chapter, I wonder? You're not doing yourself any favors, so you might as well just shut the fuck up. Shutting the fuck up is a free action that can spare you from possibly shoving the entire boot that you're licking down your fucking throat. I'm glad to be so consistent about this.
He has no consistency. He has no standards he lives by. Everything that leads him is simply his political bias and emotion. He will say anything to try to get a dunk in if he disagrees with you, even if it means contradicting himself mere minutes later. Anthony really embodies the essence of the edgy smug Redditor who's incredibly pretentious while being wrong at the same time.
Really, Remnant? And what do you embody?
You're trash, Brock. Excuse me? Your picture's a fake.
And I guarantee you that after this video is up, you will become a black hole of talent. You're already dragging down harmful opinions even further into irrelevancy by associating with you. What will the rest of the people see when they realize your entire argument is built upon obvious lies?
Look, I'm begging you. If you do this, I will lose everything. There's not a paper in town.
Oh God, really? You're Spider-Man now? I mean, it's not all lies. A lot of this is just nitpicking several different like little points and saying that they're lies, just like he did as well. And don't give me the old, well, he did it first routine, because that's fucking bullshit to begin with.
You should have thought of that earlier.
And he does all of this while LARPing about good faith behavior, good faith criticism. Yet he turns around and does this. I mean, one time I was in a chat room, somebody posted their picture, their art, and I pointed out the things that I liked, and then I pointed out the things that they could have done better on. And then everybody attacked me, by the way, they were left-wing, and said that I was wrong for pointing out what they could have done better, which is delusional. You might as well just tell everybody, hey, only compliments me. Imagine how delusional you would sound if you said that in any other context.
You see, even assuming this actually happened and isn't made up,
not only does he not believe the drawings are left-wing, but he calls into question my own personal stories and interactions with individuals. My story doesn't have the stamp of approval from Snoops.
Well, Remnant, it's not like I don't believe you, but why'd you cut it off so quickly? Why'd you cut me off halfway through my sentence? I've never cut you off halfway through a sentence. Why did you want to shut me up so quickly? Could it possibly be that I was believing you as we went on? You see, even assuming this actually happened and isn't made up, I have to ask, what was the thing you told her? Did you tell her her art looked mentally ill? Or did you give meaningful criticism? Maybe you can change the coloration or change the composition of the piece. Something tells me you didn't, because you've been incapable of providing specific feedback on any pieces of art this entire video thus far, and we're over halfway through it already. So,
I mean, that didn't change your like statement that this might not be real. Like, if you really believed, like, if you didn't want to try and insinuate that he is lying about this particular artist that he gave criticism to, you just wouldn't have said that the believing it, even if you believe it's true, right? You didn't come out later and say, I believe it's true. You just stated that, well, what was the things you asked her? What did you think you did, right? You're still kind of with the idea that you think he lied about
Remnant, tell me, why did you cut that off? Please, give me a good answer. You have one chance.
Anthony, you're full of shit.
No, Remnant, you're full of shit. But I do have to ask, who is the worst person? You for lying, or people for believing you after seeing you cut someone off halfway through a sentence to make a point? How can anyone hear something that obviously, transparently deceptive?
It seems like he's just trying to go after everybody that he doesn't like in this video. Like, like, why are we bringing up the commentary channels that you didn't watch, apparently?
And still believe you. Anyone who reported on this video got to this point and didn't question, hey, maybe this is incorrect in some fashion, I have to question your intelligence. But on that note, let's humor your last actual point, because after this you start making weird accusations. Let's talk right now about this right here. And like last time, I'll let you cook.
So what I mean by when there's a mentally ill look is to say that these people are so delusional that they can't tell reality from their drawings.
How do you know that? How do you know that? I'm just asking you, because you seem to be saying a lot about intentionality here, but you haven't actually showed what the artists are saying.
Maybe the artist wanted Sasuke to look retarded. To be fair, it's possible. However, even if this particular artist was making a derp Sasuke on purpose, I can show you 100 million examples of someone failing.
Okay, you need a hearing test, all right? Because even Remnant couldn't hide the context for this one.
So what I mean by when there's a mentally ill look is to say that these people are so delusional that they can't tell reality from their drawings.
How do you know that? What does anything you just said there have to do with being able to determine what reality is? Seriously, get your fucking ears checked, because I'm convinced there's something wrong with them.
But since we're on this topic, I'll explain why I didn't cite who made the drawings. Not that it would even matter to Anthony, because again, he contradicts himself even with this point. He puts
what did you say after
I'm damned if I do cite people, and I'm damned if I don't.
Remnant, please stop making excuses. It's getting embarrassing. Cite your works, or don't. If you don't, I won't believe they're real. If you do, I can check your works. You're only damned if you do, damned if you don't, because you know if I checked your works, I would find, like I found throughout this entire video, nothing holds up under scrutiny. His excuse ultimately is that I criticize him for naming and shaming his critics in the comment section. And yeah, I do, because that's different. Naming and shaming a critic is very different than citing the works of your argument. If you have to conflate the two, that means you have bad evidence and you're embarrassed to showcase it. You're effectively targeting your critics with your channel's platform, yet you're refusing to allow the artists to speak for themselves by demonstrating improvement. There's something ironic about a guy saying that the left can't take criticism, and then his immediate next video is response to the criticism from this video calling his critics mentally ill.
I'm sorry, but that really gives the impression that the people I'm responding to in my video, he's claiming I'm calling them mentally ill. He's saying that I was attacking them, and I was angry with them. Whereas if you watch the video, you'll know that I was nothing but polite and kind to these people 95% of the video.
Your video is titled, I made left-wing artists angry at me for telling the truth, with the words you were pathetic there, and rejecting that as though you're some victim for being called pathetic. No one cares how nice you were in the video itself.
Okay. This is kind of like what British Runner was talking about. Like the title of the video is going to be more, clickbaity to get people to click on the video. But what he's discussing in the video is the actual meat of it, right? You're very much, and I was kind of doing it with what when we were talking about his video putting in modern or whatever shit like that. It's what's the word? What's the phrase? Like judging a book by its cover, right? If you want to get into the very much thing, it's judging the book by its cover because he put those. What did he actually say about or talk about of these artists are the meat of it, right? I mean, are you admitting you didn't watch the video to see what he said about it, or just what he said, whether he was nice to him or not, was whether if he was nice to him. I lost my train of thought again. I'm losing it this fucking weekend. It's like, are you saying you didn't watch the video, so you didn't see the nice things he said? So it's just that you skimmed past it and said it doesn't matter?
Because your intentions are clear in the thumbnail and title. We are not as stupid as you think we are.
An admin, I love black people. And as for the thumbnail, yeah, a lot of people did get angry at me at the time, but there were plenty of people who also had sincere objections to the things I said. So I tried to engage with them, and they liked it.
No, sir. I didn't hurt them by embarrassing them publicly. They liked it, actually, when I made fun of them. Buddy, your intention doesn't matter. You still put them on blast without letting them know that was going to happen to them. You took things too far. Regardless, you're still not answering the question. Why didn't you cite your...
Yeah, I just don't see that with, like, YouTube commenters. I don't see people going around and chasing down like random YouTube commenters on the video versus like his audience that he's speaking to is very much a right-wing audience, and if he names the artists, they could very well get hate from him, at least more so. Like I don't, it doesn't equal the same thing. You're right, because I don't think the comments on YouTube, usernames on YouTube hold as much weight.
Sources. He then goes on to imply,
if you want to argue, you could say just don't put both of them in, right? But your argument is he should have shown them so we can all find out the truth.
Because I too can use reverse image search, that somehow relieves him of his duties of citing his sources. No, you're just fucking lazy and expecting other people to do the work for you. And as we saw with Harmful Opinion's pitiful attempt at reverse image search, sometimes you will fuck up. You will get details wrong with the first image search. So you need a works cited of some kind, even if all it is just the artist's name on screen, like you did during the video when it was an artist you liked.
Why didn't he check the examples I gave for left-wing art in the video? Here's what
Well, okay, with an artist you like, you're not giving a negative opinion. People tend to not go after someone in a negative way, where if you're on YouTube doing a criticism video and you put somebody on blast, then you're very much, you very much have a higher chance of someone going in, a much higher chance for someone going in and throwing hate at them, or what you would probably call harassment or things like that. I guarantee you, if it would have been the opposite way, if he wouldn't have named the comments, or he would have blocked out the names on the comments and would have put in the artist's name, you would probably have a different opinion. You would probably say that he's putting those artists on blast for his right-wing audience, right?
I think it's reasonable to assume, based off of what we've seen from you, you have reverse image searched them multiple times. And what you found was no evidence to suggest that they were kids. That's what you probably found.
Considering the fact in this video alone, I found out that one was definitely a child when she made the art that you're citing. No, Remnant, that's not true.
Oh, we're still talking about an argument that doesn't fucking matter. The age of the person doesn't fucking matter.
The reason is I didn't even bother, because the problem isn't whether or not I can search it up. I can. The problem is you should have cited them. That's it. That's the only issue.
I wouldn't use their art because, again, that would be very disingenuous, and that's not
It's a very similar issue to what he told Noah is focus on the citing, but not on the actual problems with plagiarism, like the clips.
Because here's the thing. We know you would be the first to jump on that opportunity to call me a liar and accuse me of messing up severely.
I'm only calling you a liar now because you lied. You had the opportunity to present all the information, everything that we're talking about, to the forefront. If not on this video, then on your next video. But instead of improving, instead of getting better, you decide to cry about it, and whine, and hide behind Harmful Opinion's failure to defend you, in order to avoid taking accountability for your ineptitude as a creator.
And this is a thing where like people are giving criticisms of each other, whether it's bad criticism or not. Like I argue that Remnant's video is bad. It's not crying to make the video on him, right? Now it's one thing if like he's crashing out, but it's very clear that Remnant's not crashing out in that video.
Editor's note, I went back to actually check the age of the people who made the drawings, and most of them give an age over 20 years old, while a few of them don't have their age listed. A couple of them, funny enough, that Anthony said looks like they were made by children, or maybe a novice art student who just started drawing, was actually made by a 40-year-old man who's made thousands of drawings that look exactly the same, and his DeviantArt account is over 15 years old. I also just looked into this person's political leanings, and it turns out they're a left-wing Democrat. They hate Trump and they like Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. Anyways, back to the video.
That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source? My source is that I made it the fuck up.
It's here that Remnant decides to drop the ball and completely focus on controversies.
But it only gets worse from here for Anthony, because right after insinuating I'm lying and making things up due to the lack of proper citation, a former friend of his known as Otterly Noah got exposed for plagiarizing people and falsely copyright striking his critics because he was petty and couldn't take being criticized. And what's funny about all of this is Anthony was actively defending him all the way till the end until Otterly Noah admitted to everything.
Controversies I've weathered and moved past, that being the Otterly Noah controversy and the Blackish controversy, the latter of which actually has almost nothing to do with me. So why bring it up? We'll get to that.
Yet in spite of all of that evidence, Anthony still defended him. And how did Anthony respond to this astronomical up? Well, he obviously owned up to his mistakes like a real man and called himself a clown over a dozen times on stream. What a humble individual to admit when he's wrong.
Remnant then decides to just play clips from old drama streams from when the event happened. And, yeah, those happened. But the thing is, Remnant, none of it has to do with you. You didn't have anything to do with it. You had no involvement. The drama started. It ended. And all you're doing is relitigating it. You're not really adding anything. You're just echoing what other people have already said. So, like, what's your point?
Here's the problem, Anthony. You can't build a channel on the premise that you're qualified to talk about these things, that you're qualified to call out grifters and teach people how to give proper media critique, and then proceed to be one of the last people to find out that Noah's a grifter. And right after that, you let one of the most obvious cases of grifting slip right under your nose, and then you act shocked that any of this happened. You admitted everything was right in front of you, and you should have known. You are clearly incompetent when it comes to these things, assuming you weren't morally bankrupt and just covering up for him, and you knew that he was lying. Who knows, though? We have two tough options before us. Are you an idiot, or are you a liar? It's really hard to tell, but I wouldn't trust either of them. So that begs the question, why should anybody in your own audience listen to the criticisms you have?
Do you want to know why? When I screw up, I sit down, look my audience in the eye, and tell them what I did and how next time it'll be better. When you screw up, you cry like a little baby. When Noah screwed up, he hid like a little baby. You both are the same, right down to not citing your goddamn sources and blaming everyone else for that.
Well, believe it or not, guys, it gets worse from here. It actually gets worse from here. You thought that was the lowest point? No, it gets even worse. Even Anthony from a year ago would tell you not to listen to the things the present Anthony has to say. Because guess what? I did a little bit of digging, and I found that he actively dismisses and disregards other people's opinions for far less than what happened with Otterly Noah. I'll show you what I mean. Harmful Opinions made a video reacting to Anthony, and it was hilarious. I found it really funny. And when this was brought to his attention, people said that Anthony should respond to Harmful Opinions. But instead, Anthony decided to blow him off and say that his opinion shouldn't be taken seriously. Why? Because he fumbled up coverage about Mudahar. Mind you, Harmful Opinions opinions quickly corrected his mistakes, and he apologized for it. But according to Anthony, messing up one time about something that is pretty basic gives you the right to dismiss their opinions and say that they shouldn't be taken seriously.
Wait a second. Are you saying the reason Harmful Opinions was so ass mad about my video is because a year ago on Twitter, I said I wouldn't respond to an at the time year-and-a-half old reaction video
But that's not what was being said.
because he did something stupid one time. Something which, by the way, I don't even remember what he did. I'll be honest, I have no memory of what Harmful Opinions said about Mutahar. That's how irrelevant it was to me. Did you really sit with this for a year, dude? It was a tweet. Get the fuck over it. Oh wait, is that why your channel imploded?
Jesus Christ, that's not. Let's go back here real quick. Really?
About something that is pretty basic gives you the right to dismiss their opinions and say that they shouldn't be taken seriously.
Wait a second. Are you saying the reason Harmful Opinions was so ass mad about my video is because a year ago on Twitter, I said I wouldn't respond to an at the time year-and-a-half old reaction video because he did something stupid one time. Something which, by the way, I don't even remember what he did. I'll be honest, I have no memory of what Harmful Opinions said.
Okay, but you did say that the reason you weren't going to do it because he fucked up the Mutahar stuff, right? So even though the video is a year old, you still said, I'm not going to watch it because of Mutahar. You didn't say it's a fucking year-old video. I'm not responding to a year-old video.
About Mutahar. That's how irrelevant it was to me. Did you really sit with this for a year, dude? It was a tweet. Get the fuck over it. Oh wait, is that why your channel imploded, the Mutahar thing? I mean, it would have been around the same timeline. Man, that's gotta suck. As Remnant was talking, it becomes clear he doesn't really care about Noah. He doesn't really care about any of that, really. He just cares about taking down someone who said a few mean words about him on the internet. But let me ask you this. If you were so confident in how badly I covered you, why did you turn down the chance to debate me directly? Why did you have to hide behind your own little video?
This is also a good time to go into why I removed the 2 videos in general that he talked about, and also where you can find them. You see, Anthony shares an audience with people like Utterly Noah, and Utterly Noah's audience doesn't have a problem when individuals falsely copyright strike those that they disagree with or deem as racist. This was especially true when I was told by Himpleton that there was another YouTuber named Blackish who made a video critiquing Anthony, and that got struck down for harassment 3 days after it was posted, which led to his channel's deletion. Now, to be honest, I don't know much about Blackish, so I'm not gonna go out of my way to defend the type of guy. I don't know what type of content he posted, but I do know that the video that was taken down for harassment, the timestamp that was given by YouTube was a green screen crashing into Anthony's forehead. So apparently that's enough to get your channel striked. Did Anthony do this? I don't know. I'm not actively claiming that he did. It could have been him or his audience. We don't have evidence. Either way though, this was my thought process.
And thus we come to the thing I mentioned at the very beginning that we come back to later. You remember that? The editor's note? Yeah. So I caught wind based on multiple of Remnant's posts that he was implying I had anything to do with Blackish's banning. Blackish was a guy who made extreme content that pissed a lot of people off. He claimed that I had something to do with his being banned, but provided no evidence for it. Claims without evidence can be dismissed directly, and I provided proof. I did not report his video. I interpret what he is doing right here as implicating me in the banning. He is not directly saying it, but then again, we've seen already at this point, he doesn't have to directly say something to suggest it. Also, how odd is it Himpleton, one of the first streamers to react to Remnant's video, just so happened to be in contact with Remnant?
Did Anthony do this? I don't know. I'm not actively claiming that he did. It could have been him or his audience.
I mean, yeah, there's people who like, are you saying we just found out like British Runner has talked with both you and Remnant. So is he a bad guy now because he's connected with them? Yes. There's kind of like this same sphere of people that all do commentary in one way or another. Like a lot of the anti-woke guys do know commentary channels. A lot of the woke guys do know commentary channels. It's just because they talked isn't some implication.
Audience. Whether you say it's me who did it, my audience, or no.
You're trying to see what you did there is trying to insinuate that there's some gay-opping happening in the background to try and take you down.
Noah's audience, you're implicating me in that. And when I provided evidence that I had nothing to do with it, you denied it mattered.
I posted the clip, and it didn't matter to him, which is funny because apparently me saying we just don't know is making an accusation according to him. I'm not actively claiming that he did. It could have been him or his audience.
Hey, the one that I'm not saying it, man.
There are a lot of words that start with the letter N.
You are so fucking disingenuous.
When you say it could have been him or his audience, you are in fact saying that it's me in some way. Those are your two options, and they both tie back to me.
The evidence in your video where you bring up Blackish getting banned and draw a connection to me being involved, while just saying, well, I can't prove he did it, but isn't that odd? Which is not what I said anywhere. I'm not actively claiming that he did. It could have been him or his audience. And you know he's got a really strong case against me when he has to literally make up what I said and emphasize on words that I never emphasized on. He claimed the difference between these two is that he disproved he had nothing to do with the channel being reported. And just so we're clear when I cover this, I said it before, multiple times, I'll say it again, I'm not saying he did anything. I literally don't think he did. I'm not actively claiming that he did. It could have been him or his audience. However, showing those 2 emails and your report history definitively proves nothing. You can ask anybody. I mean, you just saying at the end of the day that you didn't do it is just as much proof as you provided in the screenshots.
And so we have proof here that Remnant operates in the world of guilty until proven innocent. You can never prove your innocence of any crime, especially for crimes there's no evidence around that you've done. Unless you say Remnant lied, then it's the worst sin in the world. The last 10 minutes are Remnant wriggling and wraggling out of the actual allegations he just alleged, all while trying to act like he's so above it all. But the reality is, when you're a disingenuous little shit, nothing you say matters, but everything you do does matter. And Remnant, I hate to tell you this, but your channel died 2 months ago, and you haven't noticed yet.
These fucking arguments about, you know, your channel is dying and things like that, it's just kind of like shit. Like you can talk about, like when I talk about SmashJT and things like that, I will make those references to his channel dying or anti-woke are starting to fall from the things that I see, but you're using it as to try and insult to his channel to and try and take him down. You did the same thing with harmful opinions. Like, are you saying you're the bigger channel and you're not dying, so you're right?
You see, the thing you didn't realize was that you deleted 2 of your most popular videos off your channel to avoid them getting struck as some big woe is me kind of pity party. I was never going to hurt your channel in that way, but when you did that, you completely imploded your channel. You see, the YouTube algorithm depends not on subscriber numbers, but viewership numbers, on hours watched, on consistency. Getting rid of a video derails you in the algorithm. Getting rid of 2 really derails you. Getting rid of your 2 most popular videos that rose to popularity because Asmongold around the same time gave you a shout out, you never had organic growth. Remnant, your entire growth was because someone else gave you a shout out and you squandered that opportunity by deleting those videos.
Like
Now,
this is just irrelevant to what the points that you're supposed to be talking about in his video, right? Does he go over, like, does he say something about his relevancy to it? Like, we don't need any of this. You can talk about the things he said in the fucking video.
You lost the momentum that gave you. Add to that, you didn't upload for 2 months. Yeah, I've been saying 1 month, but really, I just checked while editing. I posted my criticism of your video almost 2 months ago as of this recording, which means it's been almost 2 months without any videos. And in fact, in those 2 months, you've lost 2 of your biggest videos. And you aren't getting the subs back. Believe me, I'm looking right now. You flatlined. Until this upload, you have flatlined your entire channel. You were getting consistent growth before, and then you hit a wall for 60 days straight. So yeah, your channel is dead. Don't blame me. It was dead when I got here because you put it to pasture. So in the end, none of your lying, none of your...
But Remnant never fucking brought that up, that you were killing his channel. I don't remember a single time saying that you were trying to take down his channel. I mean, he did mention that he thought you might fucking copyright strike his videos, which is a completely bullshit fucking statement. But he wasn't saying that you were trying to just take down his fucking channel. Oh, well, no, let me take that again. He didn't mention that you thought he was going to strike more videos. I have to go look at that part again. But this is still like not important to the situation. You can go on how there is no proof that any of this was like done. He's doing a guilt by association. That should be where you're going to, not pulling up his numbers and being like, your channel is dead because you made it dead, not because I made it dead.
Oh, I'm not really accusing you of something nonsense. None of your rambling and exploiting recent drama does anything because your channel is done. You, Remnant, ended it. You have only yourself to blame, not because of anything you said, but because you didn't play with the numbers game that is YouTube. You deliberately fought the algorithm, and now you're going to suffer for it. And nothing I do will ever hurt you as hard as YouTube's algorithm will continue to do so. It's fitting you did this with harmful opinions, because the 2 of you are going to be having a lot in common with your viewership numbers in the coming weeks. And to think, if you just accepted the debate, you could have walked away with a little bit of money in your pocket and a channel that was still thriving thanks to the boost Asmongold gave you a year ago. But you decided to piss me off instead. And look where that's got you. So, what did we actually learn from any of this? Well, simply put, sometimes it's better to shut the fuck up instead of saying something at all. When you can receive negative feedback, it's important to take a second look to reflect on what is being said before you proceed. People say the internet never forgets. Well, the average person forgets after a week. Let's be perfectly blunt about it. The moment you attack someone critical of you, that means people are going to pay extra close attention to what you're saying and what they're saying. The problem with this drama cycle that Remnant has himself in is that when you get stuck in that muck, you think everyone else is as interested in your bullshit as you are. But that's not the case. After the Noah drama happened with me, you know what I did? I was gonna make another stream about Noah afterwards, but I canceled it because I just didn't want to talk about it anymore. And you know what? That was a good decision, because it allowed me to stop fucking spiraling in this drama involving a person I considered a friend who betrayed my trust. And you know what I did after that? I uploaded content that people wanted to see, and people saw it. It's not complicated. If Remnant just didn't spiral in this hate spiral, he might have had a decent chance at continuing his channel. Instead, he stewed for 2 months and made hate content that floundered. But again, his audience doesn't actually watch me. So who is he trying to convince not to watch me? Anyone in my audience can spend 4 minutes watching my video and realize he's lying. But his audience, who don't watch me, were convinced that Remnant was telling the truth. This is my advice to any other channels dealing with critics or ops or whatever. The people.
Again, you didn't watch any of those guys apparently. So how do you know that they were just taking you by word of mouth, right? Or they were taking Remnant by word.
Attacking you don't watch you. They don't care what you have to say. Your explanations, your justifications, they're not going to listen. So fuck them. Keep doing what you do if you enjoy it and if people enjoy watching it. But learn from meaningful criticism. Listen to people who critique your ideas, in your circle especially, because they're going to give you feedback that will help you grow. Don't waste your time obsessing over the thoughts of people who don't like you, never will like you, and don't really give a shit what you have to really say. They just don't like that you're saying it. If anything, if they feel threatened by your critical perspectives, threatened, mind you, not just annoyed by it, but threatened, then you're doing something very, very right.
I don't think Remnant felt threatened by you. I think he wanted to make the hit piece on you. Like, I agree he didn't like really focus on any of your points, and it does seem like there was it does look like there were things that were clipped out of context. But I don't think he feels threatened by you. The shit at the end about just bringing up Social Blade to take down Remnant and Harmful Opinions because they're dead channels now is a little fucking silly. 200 August. What was in August? All right, well, that's the video. We're gonna call it an end. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't liked the stream, like the stream on the way out. I'll be back tomorrow for another stream. I think I'm gonna pull. I think I'm done watching these two guys because I just don't feel like it's very, very good videos. It's like two retards slap boxing. But we'll find something else tomorrow to watch. If you have anything you want me to watch, you can go into the Discord link below, go into Feed the Pig and put it in there. And if it's something that hits my interest, I'll pull it up and we'll watch it. Thanks everybody for coming by, and y'all have a wonderful